When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And when you have a baseball season that gets canceled, no minor league baseball season at all this summer, the Lansing Lugnuts have created a lemonade league. And so here we are. Welcome into Cooley Law School Stadium. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, rejoined by Adam Jackson. We were your Lansing Lugnuts 2019 broadcast team. This year we are your 2020 Lemonade League broadcast team. Adam, it's a whole new thing. It's an unprecedented time period and obstacles in our way, but we are going to see college baseball in Lansing this summer.
Let me first just start with, hey, pal, missed you. I haven't seen you in person in a while. It's good to see your face.
Good to see you as well.
Jesse, if you would have told me that July 23rd would be the first time we're seeing baseball in 2020 at Cooley Law School Stadium, I would have been completely shocked, but here we are in uncertain times in 2020, and credit the Lansing Lugnuts front office staff and everybody that came together, all of the players, all of the schools that are represented, for us to have baseball to call and just have some sort of normalcy. This is going to be really exciting to watch over the next few weeks. 17 games of guys that are excited, I'm sure, to get back out there and play the game that they love. About
those players, you mentioned the schools. 18 different universities are represented, and Adam, what a range from Michigan State and Central Michigan University, Eastern Michigan, all the way through Lansing Community College. It's Michiganders, it's non-Michiganders who go to school in Michigan, or Michiganders who don't go to school in Michigan. It's getting all these players together, some of whom know each other, a lot of whom don't, to all develop, to still work on their baseball career, whether they're a college senior or whether they're an incoming college freshman like the youngest player.
Yeah, if they don't know each other now, they're certainly going to remember this point in their life, and I'm sure create bonds and relationships from an uncertain time that we're going through. But you're absolutely right. I would say about 90% of the guys are going to college in Michigan. They're well represented, and it's not just D1. There's D2, there's NAIA, there's all sorts of representation across the state of Michigan. And there's local guys, which is really cool too, guys that grew up around Lansing and this area in the 517. So just really cool to see these guys getting an opportunity to play. Although Cooley Law School Stadium won't be full, we do have fans that are able to enjoy the game out in the outfield as well, and making sure that they're socially distanced, wearing their masks. But all the same, it's about as normal as we can make things, and we're excited for baseball.
It is limited capacity, and this is because of the Ingham County Health Department has laid down the directive. We cannot have more than 100 fans inside Cooley Law School Stadium. That comes right from Ingham County. So, a capacity crowd of 100. If you were looking for tickets to a Lemonade League game, you were unable to get them today. You're looking toward the future, you can go to LansingLugnuts.com. You can call up the Cooley Law School Stadium box office, and we'll see if that capacity changes over the course of the league's currently scheduled 18-day schedule. There are other ways you can join us like you're doing right now. We've got this live stream. We're up right now on Facebook. We're up on YouTube. Not only that, you could purchase a face in the crowd. All you have to do, send in an image of yourself. I don't know, send in a grandparent, send in a favorite uncle. $50, percent of proceeds are going to Ellie's Place, a center for grieving children. And you can have that photo here at Cooley Law School Stadium, maybe even directly behind home plate for people to see it. All right, let's meet the Lemonade Leaguers themselves, and let's begin with the Lemonade League Locos. That's something important for you to understand. The two teams divided up, 44 players, and the coaching staff, led by the director of baseball, Chad Roskelley, assistant coach at Oakland University, they held a draft of sorts. Half the players were put on the Locos, the guys wearing the gem blue and the marigold, the Lansing Lugnuts Copa de la Diversión uniforms. And here's how the Locos stack up. It's the center fielder, Adam Purdy, to get things started. Batting second for the Locos, it's Zach Hickey. Purdy is out of Concordia. Hickey is out of CMU. Hickey at third base, as you see. Then the right fielder, Michael Steigels, the only Oakland Golden Grizzly for Chad Roskelley. Alex McCormick bats fourth. He's DHing. Alex McCormick out of Grand Valley State. Then Cade Preston batting fifth, another Central Michigan Chippewa. Out of SVSU, the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals, and you're going to be hearing a lot about the Cardinals, the shortstop Brandon Shire bats sixth. Batting seventh, the only representative from the Colorado School of Mines, it's Garrett Lanker, the catcher. Hitting eighth, Sean Haddlesey from Albion plays left field. And batting ninth from Davenport, it's Brock Henley at second base. All of them in support of the fine left-hander out of Holt High School. Adam, I believe that you might have heard of Jesse Heikkinen.
Yes, sir, absolutely. A local guy right here that's grown up in this 517 area, and again, one of those prospects that just really cool to see that he's getting an opportunity to play here, and of course, he's going to Michigan State.
Now let's look on the Lemonade Lugnuts, who will be wearing the Lugnuts batting practice uniforms. Those black with the red, you'll see them. And the Lugnuts will lead off with Darren Davis, the shortstop out of Toledo. Then Van Acker bats second. He plays second base. He's from Concordia. Madonna's own center fielder Joey Paywan bats third. Batting fourth and then batting fifth, a couple of Spartans, the first baseman Andrew Morrow and the left fielder Zaid Walker. Hitting sixth, it's from Grand Valley State third baseman Jake Rydquist. Another Spartan bats seventh, catcher Gabe Sotres. Then batting eighth from Wayne State, a Warrior, one of four Warriors here in the Lemonade League, the DH Jacob Badalamenti. And batting ninth, the right fielder out of Saginaw Valley State, it's Colin Cornwell. On the mound from Mott Community College, transferring after spending his most recent baseball time at Jackson. It's a fine right-hander in Ethan Young. Adam, what do you make of the Lemonade League Lugnuts?
Well, I think there's a lot of good players that are going to be able to showcase their skills, both pitching and hitting. And you look at these lineups, we've got guys that are represented from multiple universities, and we've got some of their stats. Jesse, and we'll continue to talk about those as this game goes on and as this league goes on. But these are guys that have played well at their respective clubs and now get an opportunity to play against each other in this Lemonade League. So I think we're going to see some good plays, both offensively and up there on the mound as well.
All right, beautiful. We can spotlight our Granger cleanup hitters as well. Our Granger cleanup hitters, for the Lemonade Locos, it's Alex McCormack, and for the Lemonade Lugnuts, it's Andrew Morrow. We'll step aside, be right back, getting closer and closer to the action in Lemonade League Baseball. national anthem. Well, our national anthem has been played here with the socially distanced players on the field, making sure that they were all apart, coaching staff as well. And our Lemonade League Lugnuts, Marshall down the first base side, they're ready to go. They're circling up. And on the left side, the Lemonade League Locos are getting their batters ready to go. First, though, the umpires are being introduced for the capacity crowd of 100. Our home plate umpires, Mitch Tresiak, Charlotte's own former Oriole, who actually came here to Lansing Lugnuts games growing up. And he was scheduled to umpire in the Midwest League this year. Did not work out. There was no Midwest League season. So here he is umpiring the Lemonade League. On the bases umpires, Dino DeLeon. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, joined by Adam Jackson. Glad to have you along here with us.
Sorry.
Adam Purdy, Zach Heapy, and Michael Stiegels are coming up. And there's your Locos defense. The catcher's Gabe Sotres at first base. Andrew Morrow. Van Acker plays second. Darren Davis is at shortstop, and Jake Rydquist is at third. In the outfield, Zaid Walker is in left. Joey Paywan is in center, and in right field, Colin Cornwell. And in just a moment, we shall see Adam Purdy step up there against the right-hander, Ethan Young. Adam Jackson, I put it to you. What are you looking forward to seeing here tonight?
Well, I'm just taking a look at the warm-up throws right now. I'm looking forward to seeing this yellow ball, Jesse. We got to get used to that, right? The Lemonade League, they're playing with a yellow ball, so very cool. Just a little bit different. Nice little tip of the cap to the league here. Jesse, I'm just looking forward to seeing these guys compete. You know how much that they want to be out there. A lot of these guys miss their opportunity to play a full season collegiately in the spring, and then this would be their opportunity to play in a collegiate league in the summer. So you know that they missed the game, and just excited for all these guys getting the opportunity to play in Michigan State Capital.
I agree. With that yellow ball, it stands to reason, right? Lemonade League, using stitched lemons, why not? The yellow baseball actually has roots in Major League Baseball going back to 1938. And there is Ethan Young, sophomore at Mott Community College, just transferring in. He does cut an imposing figure, warming up with his catcher, Gabe Sotres, the Michigan State Spartan.
I tell you what, I like those black tops right there for the Lugnuts, the warm-up tops, and they look very similar to the away uniforms for the Lugnuts. And then for the Locos, Jesse, we're going to be spoiled. 17 games. I think, we only saw those Loco uniforms, 5 or 6 times throughout the year last season?
Not enough. Not enough at all. Gem blue and the marigold. And I remember you arguing, hey, can't have white pants as they're wearing here today. Got to find some marigold pants. Got to find some gem blue pants to go along with those.
Tyler Parsons, GM of the Lugs. I'm going to keep working on him.
Ethan Young is ready to go. So is Adam Purdy. So is the home plate umpire, Mitch Tresiak. Hey, play ball. Here is Adam Purdy, the left-handed hitting center fielder. And the first pitch of the Lemonade League season, a high fastball. We are underway, and it's 7:04 p.m. Baseball in Lansing, Michigan.
Couldn't have asked for a better day with the sun shining. Beautiful.
The 1-0. That swatted foul off to the left side. Now, if anything is hit out beyond the left field wall toward left center, that's where you'll see the fans get involved. But if it's hit back into the seating bowl, there's not going to be a mad race for souvenirs. All the fans are right now restricted out beyond that left field foul pole toward left center. Here's the break even. That's down low from Young. So Adam Purdy out of Concordia. Adam Purdy this year had made 18 appearances, 17 starts, and he was batting .321 when the college baseball season shut down. Hitter's pitch here. And he takes it high. He's got the count in his favor.
And this is going to be interesting just all night, Jesse, whether they're hitters, they're pitchers, fielders, just the time off. We know that they've been getting ready, but to play in a live action game, this is new over the last few months for these guys.
3-1 pitch. Hit in the air to left field. Backs up Zaid Walker from Michigan State. Still going back. He can't make the catch. There goes Purdy for second base. Walker the quick recovery to get it in. Leadoff double for Adam Purdy.
Well, there you go right there. Some trouble with what seemingly is a routinely fly ball. Now, the sun obviously playing a part there, and the sun certainly a factor here in Cooley Law School Stadium, but that one just misread right there by Walker, and it's an opportunity for the Locos.
Here's Zach Hickey. Adam, you know that music that just played him up to home plate?
I do believe that would be my alma mater's fight song.
Zach Hickey, like Adam Jackson, a Central Michigan Chippewa.
He's a good one.
Hickey, the starting third baseman, and batting from the left side just like Purdy. There are a number of left-handed hitters at the top part of this Locos order. Just checking in at first base, just to see if Purdy did in fact touch that bag. So the first hit of the Lemonade League season belongs to Adam Purdy. Young's first offering here. That's up and inside with a fastball to Hickey. Zach Hickey, when the college baseball season shut down, was hitting .296 for the Chippewas. Young's ready. Here it comes. And he misses up and away. Remember, Adam, he fell behind Purdy 3-1. Then Purdy got that good swing.
Yeah, and with Zach, he's always been known for his discipline at the plate. He's a guy that actually gets plunked a lot because he stands so close to the plate, but he doesn't usually swing at things outside of the zone, so you got to throw him strikes.
Here you go on 2-0. That's fly to left, another chance for Walker. Into the shade to make the catch, and Purdy retreats to second. Had a pretty good pitch to swing out on 2-0. Couldn't do too much with it. And Ethan Young records his first out to bring up Michael Steigels.
I like Zach wearing the Chippewa helmet out there as well. We've got different sorts of helmets out there, some Lugnuts helmets, but I think the guys having a little fun with representing the school that they go to. I'm sure we'll see that throughout both teams as this league goes on.
You know, sometimes where you can see that too is with the spikes.
Yeah.
See a guy go up there with green spikes, you know what's up. Michael Steigels, the Oakland Golden Grizzly, and also the DeWitt Panther. Takes the breaking ball in the outside corner, and Ethan Young jumps in front of the count.
I think that's the other just really cool part, Jesse. We've got local Michigan schools, but local high school representation. A lot of these guys not only are going to school in Michigan, but grew up in the area.
That too nips the outside corner. How about that Young breaking ball? 0-2 on Steigels after he just watched Purdy and Hickey get out in front. So maybe if the fastball lets you down a little bit, Ethan Young saying, I've got other pitches. Purdy the leadoff double, away from second with one out in the first inning. The 0-2. Got him swinging. The catcher Sotres throws down to third base. Purdy made the dash. He gets in there safely. And meanwhile, Steigels is aboard at first. It's a strikeout for Young, but no out recorded. And the Locos have runners at the corners with only one man out for their cleanup hitter.
Yeah, I see what Sotrez was trying to do there. He was already facing third base, and if he wouldn't have thrown that behind the bag at third, instead it needed to be in front of the bag to Rydquist, but unfortunately behind the bag, and now an opportunity for the Locos to cash in.
And that is a wild pitch for Young. Here's Alex McCormick batting from the left side. That bounces in, and Sotrez, a nice block. Keeps it right there and keeps those runners where they are. Alex McCormick had played only 4 games. He did not start in any of them for Grand Valley State. McCormick is one of a number of players who we'll mention. He was a pitcher/position player. A redshirt freshman out of Bloomfield Hills. Rips it right past the first baseman, Morrow, and that's a base hit to right field. Purdy is in to score. The throw goes to third base on the relay. That's not in time to get Steigels. Alex McCormick's RBI single has given the Locos a 1-0 lead.
Well, there you go, taking advantage of opportunities in this first inning. Good swing by McCormick, got it past Morrow at first base, and they're on the board in this opening inning.
And now here's another Chippewa. Cade Preston comes up there as some action begins to develop in the Lugnuts bullpen down the right field line. Now we expect to see a lot of pitching changes. Preston swings and misses the first offering. First one warming up for the Lugnuts, Dustin Renfro, the right-hander from Wayne State. Cade Preston, another DeWitt Panther, as the breaking ball fades up high. It is McCormick at first base and Steigels at third for the Locos. The 1-1 blew it right by him. And you'll see the radar gun lighting up. That one registered at 89 miles per hour. Adam, you and I know that in general the radar gun here is not precisely accurate 100% of the time, but you can still watch that. You can get a pretty good idea.
Usually just a touch hot on the radar tracking.
Or low, the 1-2. That's spoiled foul, so Preston stays alive. Cade Preston made 3 starts and 5 appearances otherwise at CMU this year. A catcher, a first baseman. Playing first base today for the Locos. McCormick at first, Steigels at third base. Breaking ball got him. Second strikeout for Ethan Young, and the second out of the first inning.
Yeah, well, he went to that and was able to get the out against Steigels, but unfortunately the wild pitch. And with the risk there from Sotrez throwing to third, that's why that second out didn't get recorded. So you got to give credit here to Young. He's pitched well. He's had some balls hit up against him, but he's doing well, throwing that breaking ball and keeping guys off pace.
And now against the shortstop, Brandon Shire. Breaking ball dives low. By the way, in the bullpen, the right-hander Renfro is sat down. So this is Ethan Young's first inning to finish. An RBI single by McCormick has the Locos off to the lead. Shire chops to the second baseman Acker. Easy glove, the throw over, and the side retired in the first inning. But the Locos score the very first Lemonade League run. Alex McCormick driving in Adam Purdy. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, get ready for Jesse Hakinen against the Lemonade League Lugnuts.
Oh, sorry.
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 Ah.
Or.
Ah.
Or.
Ah.
Or.
Ah.
Or.
Ah.
Or.
Ah.
Or. Well, at least your beer's Canadian. That's Lake Law.
Looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Love Lansing like a local. And we promise, You'll love Lansing just as much as we do.
Lemonade League Baseball is underway, and immediately some offense. An RBI single in the first inning for Alex McCormick, giving the Locos the early lead. And now the Lugnuts are coming up, and they'll take on this Locos defense. Catchers Garrett Lanker at first base, Cade Preston. Brock Henley's at second, Brendan Shire at short, Zach Hickey's at third. In the outfield, Sean Haddlesey in center, or in left field, Adam Purdy's in center, Michael Steigels is in right. And that is the left-hander Jesse Heikkinen from MSU, who delivers a little low and away for ball one to Darren Davis, the shortstop from Toledo. Fastball went around too far. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adam Jackson Heikkinen on one side, and on the other side, a talented player for the Rockets.
Yeah, a guy out of the MAC that has had good success.
Davis lines it past the third baseman Hickey. That's a fair ball and a base hit down the left side. Haddlesey tracks it out of the corner. Davis scoots for second. A leadoff stand-up double for the shortstop from Toledo.
Oh, that's a great inside-out swing, going the other way just inside the bag at third, and you can't ask for anything more than your leadoff man right there. You give up a run in the top of the first, come back with a extra base hit to open it up. Nice swing right there from Davis.
Van Acker steps in next. Acker from Concordia. And the fastball from Heikkinen called a strike. The book on Heikkinen, as he will tell you, he has 4 different pitches. Fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, can throw them all for strikes. Battling to be a member of the Spartan starting rotation this coming season. Acker taps it weakly past the mound. Second baseman Henley with the play over. And Davis over to third base for the Locos. 1 down for Joey Paywan from Madonna.
Well, that's the thing. If you can throw strikes early again, make these batters put it in play, rely on your defense, and that's what Heikkinen has done so far. But with that said, an opportunity to drive in Davis. We started off with that double.
Fastball missed away. Joey Paywan was batting .386 this year in 22 games, 18 of them starts. 7 extra base hits, including 3 homers. That's called a strike from Heikkinen. Count is even.
Yeah, he was swinging a hot bat, Jesse, so no surprise they've got him in the 3-hole. Ideally, a guy right now you love to have up with 1 out and a runner 90 feet away from evening up this game.
Big curveball bends in. The way that these players are meshed, because after Paywan, it's Andrew Morrow and it's Zaid Walker, the 2 Michigan State Spartans. The 2-1, check swing. Heikkinen gets the call in the outside corner. And here's Paywan batting third in the order, representing Madonna proudly. What a showcase this is for all players, for the same reason that they all get to play baseball, but also their own individual reasons. Count is run full.
And it's going to be tough. There's no masks out on the diamond, Jesse, so you can't hide your face when you're going up there facing your teammate on the mound and you're in the batter's box. So that's going to be fun to watch, too. A lot of guys playing against each other.
Heikkinen gets the call as Paywan thought he had drawn the walk. First strikeout for Heikkinen and 2 away in the first. That allows us once again to mention the name of Mitch Tresiak, the home plate umpire in the Charlotte Oriole, working his way up through the minor leagues. Here's Andrew Morrow, as mentioned. The first pitch fouled back, had himself a rip. Fastball from Heikkinen, 91 miles an hour at first registered here.
Well, here you go, Spartan on Spartan.
And this is power.
Green versus white.
Morrow up there, Zaid Walker on deck, two Spartan sluggers against the southpaw. Maybe overthrew that fastball just a touch. It was a leadoff double by Darren Davis as the Locos the Lugnuts are trying to tie the score. Moved over to third base in the Acker grounder, but he's still there. Morrow gets under it, and will it stay in the field of play? First baseman Preston runs out of room. That's into the Lugnuts dugout. We've seen Morrow, we've seen Zaid Walker competing in the home run derby here and the Crosstown Showdown.
I was going to say, Jesse, that was, to my knowledge, the last game that featured the Lugnuts, right? The Crosstown Showdown against Michigan State.
Go back to September the 3rd, 2019.
Yeah.
Haikkinen's upstairs. 2-2 on Morrow.
I mean, just like Major League Baseball is finally restarting tonight, it's the same type of thing here in Lansing, having an opportunity of some sorts to see a type of Lugnuts and Locos type of game since last fall.
And that, too, is up. A 3-ball, 2-strike count and the second consecutive hitter. Remember, Heikkinen just struck out Paywan watching. He's got first base and second base open. Does he challenge Morrow on 3-2? Yes, he did, and there's a line drive to left field. Haddle sees into the shade, over his head, and a bounce off the wall. Davis is across. Morrow into second base, and we are tied. 1-1, Lugnuts and Locos, and the RBI double by Andrew Morrow.
Well, the bat's going, a couple of doubles in this first inning. Davis getting a second, getting knocked over by Acker, and then Morrow coming in clutch. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch against his teammate. He takes him out to left for the double. Some runs coming through in this first inning for both teams.
So here is the left fielder, Zaid Walker. Heikkinen gets ahead in the count. You have Morrow at second base. We talked about a Michigan State Spartan, same thing with Walker, but Morrow's from Nebraska. Walker out of Illinois, the Chicago area. And now he's in a 2-strike hole. Homewood Flossmoor High School, a high school that has produced an awful lot of great players and all sorts of people throughout the sporting world. The 0-2. Skied to shallow right. Preston gives ground into foul territory, and it simply turns into a foul pop for the first baseman with the wind blowing in. That does it for the Lugnuts' first inning. But a leadoff double by Davis, and 3 batters later, Andrew Morrow doubles him in to tie up the game. We're going to the second, 1-1 in Lemonade League action. Mark Pryor, Noah Syndergaard, Bo Bichette, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They were determined in a fan vote. Supplies are limited. Order yours online right now via LansingLugnuts.com.
When you think about it, there are lots of reasons to buy a new home. And with mortgage rates this low at LAFQ, it's all you need to make your move. Because you may not have the space for anything else, but there's always room for a great mortgage rate from LAFQ. Want a low mortgage rate for your new home? Ask for LAFQ. Stop in today or go to LAFQ.com/mortgage. LAFQ, your credit union for life.
our second inning of Lemonade League action, and our first pitching change. Ethan Young worked the first inning for the Lemonade League Lugnuts. He allowed 1 run on 2 hits. He struck out 2. He tossed a wild pitch. And now here's the new pitcher, Dustin Renfro. He's a right-hander and a redshirt junior out of Wayne State. In high school, first attended Brother Rice, and then off to UD Jesuit. So, the Wayne State Warrior, with his first offering, a fastball called a strike to Garrett Lanker out of the Colorado School of Mines. Lanker, Haddlesey, and Henley, 7-8-9 for the Locos in a 1-1 game. With Adam Jackson, I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. Off speed, skipping away from the catcher, Sotres. It's a great batting stance, too, for Lanker. And Garrett Lanker's a big guy, 6 feet 2 inches tall, over 200 pounds, and he opens up that stance and bends out over home plate. That's an overthrown fastball. 2 balls and a strike.
And watching here, Jesse, you talked about it earlier, but this will kind of have the feel of an all-star game with the substitutions only being 7-inning games. We should see new pitchers probably almost every inning.
That's what I'm expecting. This hits Lanker. Got away from Renfro. Had a leadoff base runner for the Locos. Next up, here's Sean Haddlesey. I wonder, Adam, with these players getting out there, some players have found showcases, other places to play, to get together with teammates, with friends, maybe with baseball strangers, just trying to get any kind of action, but still just trying to get your timing back. So I wonder how much is too much to expect from each of them in the first couple of games. They're all just trying to get their initial action in.
Yeah, and with things closed and not having the ability to use things that you would in the past to get ready for a season or be in season, it may be a little bit more unconventional what they were doing to get ready. So, again, this is the first real type of game they've seen in months.
Sean Haddlesey out of Albion, ahead in the count against the right-hander Renfro. Here's something else that's peculiar. Both teams are utilizing the exact same bullpen down the right field line. That's where all of the relievers are warming up today.
Buddies out there.
Right? That hits the outside corner. Sean Haddlesey's father's a photographer, and he's shooting these games. Apparently, wherever Sean has played, his father shoots. His father, professional photog, and so he's one of the few people who you might see in the stands. Right now, he's right behind home plate. Nice job by Sotres knocking it down. 3 balls and 1 strike is the count on Sean Haddlesey.
And there are Locos members down in what would be the Locos bullpen area. But you're right, it looks like they're warming up using that right field bullpen. At least to this point, both teams have used that.
And it's the Wayne State Warrior, Brendan Belkovic, it appears. Hitter's pitch on 3-1. Off speed. And then the snap throw over by Sotres just to check on Lanker. What a pitch there on 3 balls and a strike from Dustin Renfro.
Well, this would be big if he could come back here after hitting the first batter he faced and now getting behind.
And yes, he does, to strike at Haddlesey. Figure he just needed to get his sea legs beneath him this inning.
Yeah, really nice changeup right there. You had Haddlesey out in front of him, fooled him on that 3-2, and that's a big out for Renfro for confidence. Just you don't want to start your outing hitting a guy, and then he got behind the second batter but comes back to get the strikeout in the first out, and now he can settle in.
And now the number 9 hitter in the Locos order in Brock Henley, the second baseman. And yes, Renfro does appear to be in a groove. Jumps out in front. Henley out of Davenport, a freshman. You contrast the freshman that we were seeing with, let's say, a senior like Andrew Morrow. Breaking ball, and again, Sotres knocking it down. He's done some work already behind home plate.
Yeah, and again, getting back in the flow of catching live pitching. He's done a really nice job. And yeah, Jesse, just like we talk about if we're doing Lugnuts in the Midwest League, guys that have more experience collegiately or guys that have been in the Midwest League or in the minors longer, they're going to be more accustomed to this rather than guys that are in their first or second year collegiately.
This one skips away from Sotres behind him. Lanker takes second base, and that's a wild pitch for Renfroe. I figure if you're a senior like an Andrew Morrow, like a Joey Paywan, the center fielder for the Lugnuts, you have a different goal for the Lemonade League than, let's say, a Brock Henley coming here as a freshman.
Absolutely. I mean, all guys are trying to continue getting better at this point, but certainly at different stages in their career. And for a senior, they may be a little unsure of what's next. So this is an opportunity to play for a freshman or a sophomore. They're trying to stay sharp and hope that they're able to get back out there and compete for their team next year.
3 balls and a strike is the count on Henley.
I tell you what, Jesse, we got to give a shout out to the grounds crew here and how beautiful the field looks. Again, there's not been anything going on it, but man, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
That's a walk, and they're runners at first and second base for the Locos with the top of the order coming up. About that, Adam, about this field, which a couple of years ago was honored as the best field in the Midwest League. Can you imagine working so hard as Paul, the head groundskeeper here with the Lansing Lugnuts, and if his crew have done, and he has received some great help. Jake Bekowitz has been just tremendous, but especially to Paul in his very first year here as head groundskeeper, returning to the Lansing Lugnuts after being part of the crew a couple of years ago, and no baseball for day after day, week after week, and yet taking care of this diamond. Purdy fouls off the first pitch. He was ready to jump on it.
Yeah, finally getting a chance to showcase his hard work, Jesse, because, you and I were walking around on the field, not obviously in the diamond, but, man, it's smooth. It looks sharp, obviously, and it's just really well kept up every single year, even when there are games every single day in the Midwest League. But even more so, it looks tremendous here tonight in the opening night.
Lanker at second, Henley at first, and Dustin Renfroe, the pitcher on the mound. Count going even against the leadoff hitter Purdy, who began this game and began the Lemonade League proper. A double that was just beyond the reach of the left fielder Zaid Walker. Then he came around to score 3 batters later on an Alex McCormack RBI single. That's fouled away down the left side. And that again gives us a chance to look at those yellow baseballs, which I guess at some point we're going to take for granted, but not yet for me.
They're not actually lemons, Jesse. They are baseballs, just in case you were wondering.
Right.
I know they look like lemons coming off the bat like that last one scribbled away.
There it is in the right hand of Dustin Renfroe, held behind his back. It is a yellow baseball. That served in the air on the right side. Easy for Acker, trying to get Lanker at second base, and he threw it away. Zaid Walker has to track it down to the bullpen. Lanker a hard step around third, and then he tries again, puts on the brakes. Do they have him? No. He does manage to get back into third base after blowing a tire nearly twice. Meanwhile, up to second base goes Brock Henley. It's a line out to Van Acker, and then things went wrong for the Lemonade Lugnuts on defense. 2 gone for Zach Hickey with 2 runners in scoring position.
Well, and it probably should have been a run because of the error by Acker there at second base, but little indecisiveness from Lanker whether or not he wanted to go or come back. If he would have taken off, I think he would have been okay, but couldn't tell where the yellow ball was down there in the bullpen.
Hickey fouls away the first pitch from Dustin Renfroe. Bullpens are quiet right now. Renfroe trying to get out of this inning scorelessly. About that with Garrett Lanker, he's not noted for his speed. Lanker is lanky. So he hesitated, then he hesitated again. He took a couple of steps toward home plate, and then his body just stopped. Ball and a strike now, and Hickey flied out to the left fielder Walker his first time.
Now, Jesse, I haven't noticed, is Zach Hickey the only one wearing a face mask out there while he's batting, or have all the batters tonight? Have you noticed, are they wearing the mask in the batter's box and then taking them off when they get out onto the bases?
We'll have to keep watching. The unmasked Renfro. That's fouled away down the left side. The big breaking ball. The nice thing is that the weather, remember a couple of weeks ago when it was up in the 90s? That it's gotten a lot more manageable.
Yeah, and especially starting at 7 o'clock. I mean, if this was in the heat of the day at the 1 o'clock, like some of the Sunday starts, it would be pretty darn hot out there right now.
That's swatted down the left field line, but it fades over the bullpen foul. Zach Hickey against Dustin Renfro. Each team scored a run in the first inning. Alex McCormick's RBI single for the Locos was then answered in the bottom of the first by Andrew Morrow's RBI double for the Lugnuts. And now here's a great chance for Hickey. Teammates at second and third, 2 gone. The 1-2. And Sochez knocks it down. About those yellow baseballs, Adam. All right, so we're using yellow baseballs this year in the Lemonade League. When they used them in the major leagues, they dyed white baseballs yellow in order to make them yellow. 1938, 1939. The dye ran onto the pitcher's hands due to all the sweating. Hickey goes down swinging. Sotrez with the throw finishes off the strikeout for Renfro, and Dustin Renfro strands a pair of Locos in scoring position. The error does not hurt. We've played 1.5, and it's 1-1 between the Locos and the Lugnuts in the Lemonade League.
Every act, every gesture counts right now. Because together, it all makes a difference. And staying committed to the health of our communities is everything. Which is why Blue Cross will remain committed to you, ensuring you can get the care you need with resources like virtual doctor visits and our 24-hour nurse line. You'll have access wherever and whenever you need it. Blue Cross will stay by your side for whatever comes next.
It's a 1-1 score as we open up the bottom of the second inning in Lemonade League action. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. Adam Jacks is by my side, and Brendan Bilkovic is the new Locos pitcher into the game. We're in that gem blue and the marigold. Brendan Bilkovic, a redshirt junior, 6'1", 175 pounds, out of Wayne State. This year, it made 2 relief appearances, 2 scoreless innings, and he had struck out 4 for the Warriors. And then the college baseball season was halted. So here he is, getting some summer league action. And he will take on the Lugnuts 6, 7, and 8 batters in Rydquist, Sotrez, and Badalamenti.
Yeah, taking over for Jesse Hankinen, who gave up a couple of doubles that run in the first inning. So here we are, both teams with a run apiece, both teams with a couple of hits apiece. And Jesse, I don't want to root for extra innings, but I kind of am rooting for extra innings, just knowing what the tiebreaker is in the Lemonade League.
Let's get into that in a little bit. Here's Jake Rydquist. I wonder if he'd like to be involved. Fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Rydquist, the third baseman from Grand Valley State High School, Lake Orion. The open stance. Has to dodge that pitch from Belkovic. So there are no extra innings in the Lemonade League. Not a single one. If the game is tied after 7 innings, well, we have to go to a sudden death swing off.
Oh, I absolutely love that rule.
Fastball stayed in. 2 balls and a strike for Rydquist.
You know, minor league baseball has been intuitive in adding the runner at second base when they go into extra innings, and now Major League Baseball is adopting that rule for the 60-game sprint. But now the Lemonade League has taken extra innings to the next level with the home run derby.
Yes. 3 balls and a strike. The count is in Rydquist's favor. You know, it comes from the Midwest League All-Star Game. Last year, 2019 Midwest League All-Star Game, it was tied, and so they went to the sudden death swing-off in order to determine the champion. It was a huge hit, pun intended. Rydquist draws the 5-pitch walk, and that gets us going in the bottom of the second.
Now, if I remember correctly, Jesse, there was a pretty big bat flip in,
Yes,
in
there
that
was.
winning swing-off as well.
I don't know if you could call it a bat flip. It was a bat javelin toss. It was a bat heave. Chris Betts of the Bowling Green Hot Rods tried to send his bat into orbit. He launched it. By the way, I'm checking in with the Facebook chat. Love all the messages that have been posted. Here's Gabe Sotres. Ball 1 to him. Knocked down well by his opposite number, Garrett Lanker. So hello to everybody. Lisa Lewandowski saying, great to hear our voice. From Ryan Clark, Kyle Schaefer, the Lansing Herald, Tammy Travis, everybody commenting in. Big thanks to you for checking out this broadcast. Sotres fouls that one off. A ball and a strike on the catcher. Sotres, high school brother Rice, and then to Michigan State, where he's a redshirt freshman.
And just like these players have missed the game, the fans, the community has missed the opportunity to come out to Cooley Law School Stadium, and it's just great to have some sort of baseball back in this stadium in Michigan State Capitol tonight.
The 1-1. Belkovic missing in. I'd also like to say hello to the Campana family listening in Pittsburgh. Let us know earlier today. Let Greg Kiger know, the man behind the scenes of the Lemonade League, hey, we're going to be checking out all the action.
Love it.
Hitter's pitch here. And that's down. Well, Rydquist drew a walk on a 3-1 pitch, and now it's 3-1 against Gabe Sotres. Jake Badalamenti waits on deck. Each team scored a run in the first inning. At the top half of this frame, Dustin Renfro threw up the goose egg. But now in the bottom half, Belkovic is in trouble. Back-to-back walks for Rydquist and Sotres.
Yeah, he's only thrown a couple of strikes coming in. You got to find the zone, and good chance for him. Just step off the mound, put the glove back on, and see if he can hit the zone, try and get some outs, as the Lugnuts looking for an opportunity to grab their first lead.
Jake Badalamenti batting 8th. He's the DH here for the Lemonade League Lugnuts. Swing away at the first pitch, missed it, got right through Lanker, and both runners move up. Sotres now to second, and Rydquist is at third. So even when things go well for the right-hander Belkovic, not so well. Get the swing and the miss, but it escapes his catcher. And Adam, with regard to wild pitch past ball, we can make our determination then after the game. The coaches are the ones scoring. So we'll check in to see wild pitch past ball, all of their thoughts. That's called strike 2.
Well, and a fortunate carom right there for Lanker, because as you and I know, just watching balls hit that backstop, they can go all over the place, just like when a ball flies out to the outfield and caroms off the wall. But that one, fortunately for Lanker, came right back to him.
You're right. 0-2 pitch. Fought it foul. Let's see. Hello to Carol Haley via Facebook chat. To Christy, to Rob McMaster, who says both teams are the home team. Well, in this case, You are seeing that the Lugnuts are the home team here today, and then they're going to alternate in the remainder of the Lemonade League schedule. The 0-2. Popped it up in a foul ground. Catcher Lanker over. He's got it. With Belkovic just in case covering at home. But Badalamenti goes down, and there's a very important first out for Brendan Belkovic.
And that can be confusing too, Jesse, because it's not the traditional home team in the third base dugout, away team in the first base dugout. And you see it sometimes there in the first base dugout, but here at Cooley Law School Stadium, the Lugnuts are always in that first base dugout. So the home side, as the two teams will switch every other game, who's the home and visiting team, is in that first base dugout, which is the Lugnuts tonight, the home team.
The interesting thing is, we'll see if we have time to get into this. Here's Colin Cornwell.
Or maybe they won't switch dugouts because of COVID.
Right. So I believe we'll see how they play it with the Locos staying third base side or heading over to the first base side, taking the Lugnut spot. But the 1-0 from Belkovic. Cornwell could not hold back on the breaking ball bouncing in. You know, Adam, the sun beats down right into the first base dugout's eyes. So it's always seemed to me that the best dugout for the home team here, you want to be on the third base side where the sun isn't in your eyes.
I'd think so.
And yet the home team dugout at Cooley Law School Stadium has always been down first base, right into the sun. Cornwell lays off this one. Lanker knocks it down.
Now remember, though, they do start in the earlier spring months typically for the Lugnuts, so maybe you remember how the weather is much different usually in Michigan up around those times where it's a little bit cooler, so maybe it's nicer then to have the sun beating down on you when it's a little chillier outside, but yeah, we get to July.
Trying for the back door with the breaking ball. Missed. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Colin Cornwell from Saginaw Valley State and another freshman. Attended Henry Ford. Darren Davis, top of the order, waiting on deck. 2 ducks on the pond for the Lugnuts. Cornwell takes ball 4. And the bases have been walked loaded by Brendan Belkovic.
And really not close counts either, Jesse. From all those walks, he's throwing 5 pitches and only 1 strike in those at-bats. So he's really struggled to find the zone outside of that at-bat where he got the fly out.
So it's our very first pitching mound visit of this game. And the Lansing Locos pitching coach, well, actually the coach that they've sent out there and looking at it, that's number 11 in the Locos Gem Blue, right? That's Pete Romsek.
Yep.
Their pitching coach is number 33, Cam View, and I'm looking out there just to see. No, that is 33. It's tough to read the Locos numerals sometimes. That's the 33 in the Locos font. So that's Cam View. Cam View, the pitching coach for the Locos. Here's the kind of pitcher that Brendan Belkovic and the other Locos get the chance to work with. Cam View is a minor leaguer. Cam is in AAA for the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitching for Indianapolis. Last year made 13 starts for AA Altoona and was terrific. And then 13 starts for AAA Indianapolis, but the Pirates didn't put him on their 60-man player pool. And he said, okay, if I've got nothing better to do, might as well come here. Ready to go. Here's Darren Davis for a second time. And Belkovic bounces in the breaking ball.
And we did just see, I think it was Ryan Abenth, the 6'5".
Abenth, yes.
Yeah, pitcher that he came right from the third base side bullpen and ran around, and he's warming up down that first base bullpen. So it looks like all the pitchers will be warming up from there tonight.
There you go. This escapes Garrett Lanker. Here comes Rydquist for the plate, and he's across feet first. 2-1, the Lugnuts lead on the wild pitch from Belkovic. Sotres to third and Cornwell up to second.
Well, again, just command hasn't been there for Belkovic throughout this inning, and it's been a lot of work for Lanker back there trying to keep some stuff in front of him. But right now, Belkovic's just got to find that zone and make these Lugnut hitters swing away.
And that one right there, I wonder if Lanker should have stopped it. The 2-0. Nice backhand there. But 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing, Jesse. I almost think pass ball there,
Yeah.
depending on what they rule. But It looked like it was elevated from the dirt where it should have been stopped by Linker, and it just sort of surprised him, gets by him, and it provides the run for the Lugnuts to put him in front.
Darren Davis 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored. Swinging away, and he lashes it to right center field. That's down for a base hit. Here comes Sotres to score. On his heels is Cornwell, and the ball sticks with a cutoff man at second base, Henley. A 2-run single for Darren Davis, and this is a 4-1 Lugnuts lead.
Well, he was sitting on a pitch coming down the middle of the plate. He got it, and he took advantage of it, and what a game so far for Darren Davis. 2 good contact swings. He had the double to lead off the at-bats for the Lugnuts in that first inning, and now provides 2 more runs to give the Lugnuts that 3-run advantage.
And that is the first hit allowed this frame by Bill Kovic. Walk, foul out to the first baseman, walk, and now the single. Here's Van Acker. Acker elevates the first pitch he sees, but this is going to get out of play. Right back behind home plate. Adam, just out of your range.
I tried.
Yes, you did. Van grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. He is the second baseman for the Lugnuts. Van Acker was having himself some kind of college season before it shut down. On the 0-1. It's a breaking ball up and in. Van Acker had walked more than he struck out. 13 walks compared to 11 strikeouts in 18 games. He was batting .358. His on-base percentage was .471. He was slugging nearly .700. Ridiculous stuff. And that's called a strike on the outside corner. The coaches have joked that let's say these two teams turn out to be uneven, unbalanced, that there will be trades. And it's going to be very interesting to see the bragging rights between these two teams develop. There goes the runner, but Acker pulls it foul. Stays 1-2 on Van.
Well, it's a 17-gamer here between these two in the next 4 to 5 weeks, so you want it to be competitive, and why not? You've got some fun in the league with the tiebreaker rule if it's still tied up at 7 and the yellow baseballs, and got to have some trades as well.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and Acker, former Eden Rapids Greyhound. Count is run full in Acker. What a difficult debut inning for Brendan Belkovic. Still only 1 out. This is the 6th batter that he has faced of the frame. 3 walks, and all of them have scored. Now it's Darren Davis at first, and a 3-2 pitch for Acker is coming, but not yet. Here it is. That's up high, and there's walk number 4 for Belkovic this inning. Davis down to second base, and that looks like it's going to do it for Brendan Belkovic. Not the first Lemonade League inning that he wanted, but you know what? For all of these guys who will be getting their first action, this isn't it. So it might have that first bad taste in your mouth, that first bite, not what you want it to be. There's going to be more games and more innings to come for Brendan Belkovic and any other player who comes away from tonight going, that wasn't how I wanted my return to baseball going.
Yeah, they'll give you that drive to get back, maybe adjust a couple of things, and just be a little bit more sharper the next time you get the opportunity to take the hill.
So new pitchers come in here for the Lemonade League Locos, with the Lugnuts leading 4-1, a 3-run bottom half of the second inning. And it is Ryan Abenth. 6'5", 225 pounds, the southpaw out of Concordia. Abenth had made 4 appearances during this college baseball season before it was shut down. 2 1/3 hitless, scoreless innings. This following a year last year where he went 13 2/3 innings and he struck out 10. He did have problems with his command last year, and he was looking to build on a much stronger year this year. This year, Here he is going into junior year out of Saginaw Heritage. Saginaw Heritage Hawk. The thing I always think about too, Adam, with that arm angle, he's coming in from that low 3/4. But at 6 feet 5 inches tall and a lefty, he's releasing the ball closer to home plate than a shorter pitcher. And as a left-hander, there simply, number one, aren't that many left-handed pitchers that batters get a chance to see. And then the other thing is he's releasing it quicker. He's releasing it from that height, from that difficult arm angle. He's has a lot of things working in his favor.
Yeah, just different tendencies that you're not used to, Jesse, for sure. And that's probably one of the reasons, again, lefties have that opportunity to kind of surprise some guys and, have a little bit more success because they have an advantage like that. We'll see how he does here. Still only one out in what has turned into a pretty long second inning.
And taking on Joey Paywan. Strike called on the outside corner. How about going off speed? This is going to be interesting how Paywan stays in there. Left-handed batter against the left-hander. Darren Davis is at second and Van Ackers at first. They can both run. 4-1 Lugnuts. The off speed's away. Brendan Belkova came in. He issued 4 walks. He recorded 1 out. He allowed 1 base hit, the single to Davis. And now Abenth out there, the 1-1. Grounded right off of Abenth. Tracks it down to the back of the mound. Does he have a play at first? Yes, he does. Paywan retired for out number 2. All the while, Acker to second and Davis to third.
Excellent job by Abenth to field his position, plays the ricochet, goes and gets the baseball, and delivers a strike to first. He had to hurry because Paywan was hustling down the line. And remember, he just came into the game today, Bent. So playing his position and a firm, solid throw, that's a big out, and now an opportunity to get out of this jam.
Taking on the cleanup hitter, Andrew Morrow. And the fastball sails wildly on him. Morrow is 1 for 1. In the first inning, he tied up the score with an RBI double that he drilled to left right over Sean Haddelsey. Change of pace pulling the string on him. Locos scored the game's very first run in the top of the first. The Lugnuts the answer in the bottom half, and then here, 3 runs to break the tie. 2 ducks on the pond, and the count is in the batter Morrow's favor. Think about it, though, Adam. In the first inning, the Locos stranded runners at first and third base, and then in the second inning, they stranded runners at second and third base. So we could be in for a very high-scoring game as this game continues, or we'll see. Will the pitchers take charge? Because right now it's been dominated by base runners. It's fouled off to the right side as, again, Morrow was out in front.
Yeah, and again, in the kind of all-star game format, it's typically rare to see that just because you can't really get accustomed to a pitcher and seeing him through the lineup for a second or third time. It sometimes plays in the advantage for the pitcher because they're coming in usually for an inning, seeing those guys for one time, and then it's on to the next pitcher. But that hasn't been the case tonight.
2-2 from Morrow. Head in the air to left, and this should be easier for Haddelsey. Sean Haddelsey puts it away, and Abenth comes in from the bullpen and strands 2 Lugnuts in scoring position. 3 of those score on the frame and only 1 hit, 4 walks, and we go to the third. It is a 4-1 Lugnuts lead in Lemonade League action.
Saint Marie.
Exciting. Oh my god.
It's Ypsilanti.
Okay. Charlotte.
Charlotte.
No. Minimini. See you, Minimini. Minimini.
Is that
Minimini.
Menominee?
Menominee. Monopoly.
Mackinac. Mackinac. That's how it's pronounced
Give
here.
up.
I was born and raised on the river. It's the only life that I know. And they say, River boy, hey river boy, you got any fish there today, river boy?
Back for the top of the third at Cooley Law School Stadium. Adam Jackson, Jesse Goldberg, Strassler with you for Lemonade League action. Game 1 between the Locos and the Lugnuts. And the Lugnuts grabbing the lead with a 3-run second inning. They'll send a new pitcher onto the hill. Adam Dorstowitz steps onto the mound. The sophomore out of Kalamazoo. Steigels, McCormick, and Preston, the 3 batters he faces. A really big half inning right there for the Lugnuts, and we've talked about it, Jesse. It's been a game that has featured a good amount of hits, 5 hits so far, 4 runs now for the Lugnuts, and a lot of base runners. We've seen some walks, maybe a little bit of rust and nerves as these guys get in live competition. 1 ball, 1 strike on Steigels.
Maybe rust and nerves, but also just getting your mechanics right, getting your timing back and right. For a pitcher, you think about all that needs to work in tandem, making sure your front side doesn't fly open.
And 2 balls and a strike now to Steigels.
Right, you worry about your muscle memory. So for everyone, just getting their bodies back and used to playing baseball again.
Absolutely. And again, they've been off for a while. Even though they've been trying to keep in shape and doing baseball drills and I'm sure working out, things are not the normal as what they would be. I mean, these guys would have already completed a full college season in any other year and would be ready and good to go for the collegiate season in the summer. Three balls, 2 strikes now on Steigels. The right fielder struck out in his first at bat, but then reached first on the wild pitch. Swings and misses, and it's a strikeout for Dorstowitz to start out his outing.
Adam Dorstowitz is the only member from Kalamazoo College in the Lemonade League. And Adam, there's a great story why this Adam, not you, wears number 13. Adam Dorstowitz is a Chicago Cubs fanatic. Showed up for the media day and the workout wearing his Chicago Cubs gear. Chose number 13 because Starlin Castro is his absolute favorite player.
Well, there you go. Big Cubs fan. Alex McCormick up. He had to have been pretty happy a few years ago when they broke that long-time curse and won that 2016 World Series in what was an absolute crazy Game 7 in Cleveland. Big high-arcing breaking ball, 1-1 on McCormick. Alex McCormick, the DH, RBI single in that first at-bat to drive in the opening run for the Locos. They're trying to get something going after giving up 3 runs in the second. Had a breaking ball that, again, too far up. And it was just a lot of walks from Brendan Bilkovic. 4 walks in that second inning. The Lugnuts only had 1 hit. They took advantage. Now 3 balls and a strike on McCormick.
Well, that's the big thing, is the inning was fairly gift-wrapped for the Lugnuts. The Lugnuts hitters in this game, Darren Davis has 2 hits, Andrew Morrow has the double, and that's all when it comes to hits, but they've had so many runners.
And again, you get runners on, good chances are you're going to score some runs, and the Lugnuts have done that so far. Remember, just playing 7 innings instead of the traditional 9. Payoff pitch, swatted back. So you don't have as long here to wait and get things going, or when you get behinds, got to increase those opportunities, as we'll play just 7 throughout this season into mid-August. Payoff pitch again. Swing and a miss. How about the start for Adam Dorstowitz, Jesse? 2 strikeouts, and he's got a clean sheet so far through his first 2 batters faced.
It is a way to bring yourself some notice in a hurry, isn't it? Take on the 3-4 batters in the Locos order and dispatch them both.
Batting number 29, Cade Preston.
I mean, how cool would it be to say one day to remember that you were one of the best players in the Lemonade League back in 2020?
I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be fun to look back on the Lemonade League in subsequent years, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. How many of these guys are going to play in the minor leagues right here? Who's going to make the major leagues?
This is Cade Preston, the Chippewa, just about an hour south of Mount Pleasant, playing for Jordan Bishel up at Tennyson Stadium. Redshirt freshman. Flies this one back, and it's 1-2. You knew I wasn't going to sit here and not get in my Chippewa hurrahs. Central Michigan, of course, winning the MAC regular season and tournament championship, going to the NCAA tournament last year for the first time since 1995. Great program. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Preston. He struck out in that first at bat. Just past an hour in tonight in Michigan State Capitol. You can hear the traffic passing along us. The 2-2, caught it on the outside corner. And how about striking out the side? 1 inning of work for Dorstowitz. Punch out, punch out, punch out to the bottom half of the 3rd. Lugnuts in front 4-1 at Cooley Law School Stadium.
I can spend it nearly. I'll spend my money well. Education and hard work. I make decisions about money. I can earn and save. I can spend and donate. I'll spend my money well. Education and hard work set me up to excel. It's a recipe for success. Should have thought about that, I guess. Money lets me share. I better prepare. Saving's a good lesson to learn. Because a penny saved is a penny earned.
Teach kids how to earn, save, spend, and donate. Visit chachingusa.org.
It is time for today's LaughQ Trivia question. And let's go through your LaughQ Trivia question of the game as we go back to 1997. Who did the Lansing Lugnuts defeat for our very first Midwest League title? Back in 1997, who did the Lugnuts beat to win our first Midwest League championship? Let's give you those choices. Was it first for the Lansing Lugnuts? Well, let's give you those choices now. Was it A, the Beloit Snappers? Was it B, the Kane County Cougars? Or was it C, the Peoria Chiefs? Who did the Lugnuts beat to win our very first league title? To enter your answer, go to www.milb.com/Lansing/fans/contests. Correct answers will be entered to win awesome Lugnuts prizes, such as autographed items, giveaways, and more. That is your LaughQ Trivia question of the game.
All right, we're ready to go for the bottom of the 3rd. Getting close to the halfway mark of Game 1 in the Lemonade League. 4-1 Lugnuts advantage. Ziad Walker over to 3rd. Hickey scoops, throws to 1st, and it's in time for the first out.
Adam, that play was tougher than it appeared, because at first base for the Lemonade League Locos, there's Cade Preston looking right into the sun.
And Hickey over there, it looked like he had a little bobble trying to transfer from his glove to his throwing hand. So He had to be precise with the throw, and you're right. On the other receiving end, Preston had to get it in time. Jake Ridequist now into the batter's box. And by the way, it's still Ryan Abenth on the hill for the Locos. He came in to relieve the work of Brendan Bilkovic in that last half inning. Was able to get back-to-back outs. Fires in a strike. And those were important because runners were on second and third after 3 runs had already come in. So limited those Lugnuts scoring opportunities to just the 3 and have kept the Locos within striking distance. 2 balls and a strike on Ridequist. Walked in his first at bat, did Ridequist. Redshirt freshman out of Grand Valley State. A good middle point here. He's from the east side, Lake Orion. And, of course, going to the west side of the state to play his college baseball. So how about meet right in the middle in Lansing for the Lemonade League in the summer, Jesse?
Yeah, why don't you just meet me in the middle?
2-2 is low. We'll have a payoff pitch coming to Ridequist. It's been an absolute gorgeous month. A little bit hot throughout July in mid-Michigan, but another beautiful night tonight. Ball 4 stays away. And as the sun continues to go down, it's cooling off nicely, so it's not over excessively hot. I'm sure the guys are thinking different, saying, hey, we're wearing pants and shirts, and we're out here running around while you guys sit up there.
Some of them, as you mentioned, Zach Hickey wearing the mask.
Yeah. Gabe Sotres now into the box. Wiggles one right in front of home plate, and a low throw gets away. So Abenth can't make the play, and Ridequist will come around to score. Heading to third is Sotres, and a big mistake right there from Abenth allows another run to come in, while Sotres gallops all the way to third base.
That's a play where, for the big guy, just in trying to come over and make the play, he's either got to slow himself down, take it easier. He threw it. He was off balance. And at first base, Cade Preston never had a chance.
Yeah, low and wide of the glove of Preston. And already down 3 runs. Tack on 1 more to make it 5-1, Lugnuts. A 3-bag error is what that turns into. This is Jacob Badalamenti. Hard hit, fair inside the bag at third. Sotres trots in. Badalamenti stops at second, an RBI double, and the Lugnuts are rolling here through the first 3 innings.
He just barely kept that fair. And a much different full inning of work for Ryan Abenth than when he came in relief in the second.
Yeah, he got 2 quick outs and had runners on base, a pressure situation. But here, got the first out and then walk, the big throwing error that he just made, and a double. That's the 3rd double already for the Lugnuts. They had 2 in that first inning and now 1 here in the 3rd. Colin Cornwell bounces to Shire. 2 gone.
Something that's going to be interesting for us to watch out for is to see how many home runs are hit. Because Cooley Law School Stadium in a normal Midwest League season, home runs play about average. It depends. Is the wind blowing out? Is the wind blowing in? And the gaps are just so deep. But this is one of the best ballparks in the country when it comes to simply collecting base hits, singles, doubles, triples, and scoring runs. This might be, if your name isn't Adam Dorstowitz, a really tough place for the pitchers in Lemonade League action.
Back to the top of the card, Darren Davis. And Jesse, we know too well how difficult it is for outfielders. If the ball gets hit deep enough, the wall caroms here are all over the place. 1 ball and 1 strike to the leadoff man.
There are a few players playing in the Lemonade League who have played here before in their high school days, or maybe there was an exhibition like a crosstown showdown for Michigan State. But by and large, these players are inexperienced at Cooley Law School Stadium, and this is a field that can eat you up.
That slider stays outside. 2 balls and a strike. Darren Davis has had an incredible day leading off so far. 2 for 2, double and a run scored, and then an RBI single in the second. He's got a runner at third in Badalamenti, who just brought in a runner with a double. Popped up to shallow left, and finally coming in to make a diving grab is Hadalski. What a catch. 3 defenders out there trying to figure out who is going to take it, and at the last second, a basket sort of scoop effort, and the catch is made, and that keeps another run from coming in. But the Lugnuts tack on 2 more thanks to an error and an RBI double, and it's now 6-1 as we're through 3 in the opener of the Lemonade League.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes. A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
It's time to play the bus stops here. Brought to you by our terrific friends at Dean Transportation. Here's the way that this is going to work. 3 Lugnuts caps. The Dean Trailways bus goes in the middle cap. Shake it to the left, shake it to the right. Keep your eyes on that cap. Has it gone left? Has it gone right? Are you still watching that cap? Are you know where that cap has gone? When that cap stops, you're going to have to find that bus. Are you still watching that cap? Eyes on the cap. Now, as we settle things down, get those 3 Lugnuts caps in a row, and can you spot where that Dean Trailways bus has stopped? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Can you find the Dean Trailways bus? It's under cap number 1, and that is your Dean Trailways. The bus stops here, brought to us by our terrific friends at Dean Transportation. We return to Cooley Law School Stadium. The right-hander Luke LaLamia is now on the mound for the Lemonade League Lugnuts. And now, once again, my colleague Adam Jacksa with the call of the game.
All right, Jesse, thanks so much. Well, right now the Lugnuts have had no problems scoring runs in every half inning. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. And defensively, outside of the opening half inning, they put up a couple of zeros on the board. Adam Dorstowitz is done, and what an outing he had in that third.
Let's talk about this. This was the key play, the 4th throw by Ryan Abenth. That brought a run around to score. It turned into a 2-base error, and that really opened things up for the Lugnuts to lead to this 6-1 lead.
Yeah, absolutely, Jesse. 2 runs in that third inning, and that mistake certainly helped the Lugnuts. Their first error, the Locos, that is. LaLamia's first pitch, and it's up high to Brandon Shire. You're watching the Lemonade League opener from Cooley Law School Stadium. Adam Jackson, Jesse Goldberg-Strassler with you. We'll be here for all 17 games in this league. That one buzzes up and inside. And I suppose, Jesse, we got to run through the lemon laws every few half innings to make sure we get everybody caught up with what's going on this season.
We really should.
They are a little bit different. So let's first start. It's a 7-inning game and not 9, so all of these will be 7-inning affairs. And if it's tied after 7 innings, we will have a home run derby swing-off. One player from each team will have 60 seconds to see how many home runs they can hit, and whoever has the most will win that game. So, again, we're going to be looking forward to extra baseball, a little bit more usual than we're used to. A 3-0. That rides high, and Brandon Shire reaches to lead off this fourth inning. Other switches, with it being the Lemonade League, when life gives you lemons, why not make lemonade? The baseballs are yellow, so you'll be able to see a couple of times if you can look a little closer than usual. It's not the typical white baseball. They are yellow baseballs. This is Garrett Lanker stepping in. He was hit by a pitch in his opening at bat. Up high for ball one.
There was a scientific study that was done in the 1930s that said people see the color yellow easier than they see the color white.
It's kind of like a highlighter, right? You
Exactly.
highlight your notes, you and I are doing here.
So it should be easier for the batter to pick up out of the pitcher's hand.
1 ball, 1 strike on Lanker, and there may be the reason why we're getting so much offense through the first few innings of this game. It's been a while since these players have taken the field in some capacity at the college level and played in real action, but we've had a lot of runs, 7 to be exact so far through the first 3 innings. That one's way up high, tips off the glove of Sotrez, and that'll be a wild pitch allowing Shire to move up.
Rob McMaster, by the way, commenting on the Facebook chat, we should have one game with a lemon-shaped baseball for the laughs. I don't know how a lemon-shaped baseball would curve or slide.
It sure would be fun.
Probably could throw one whale of a changeup.
You know what? I wouldn't want to be an infielder trying to field a ground ball, Jesse.
Might get a sour hop.
The 2-1s cut on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I see what you did there.
If you like some lemon iced tea, when I arrived at the stadium here today, I was greeted with a lemon 3-pack. A packet of a box of Lemon Heads candy. Those disappeared in a hurry. Some lemon iced tea. I'm not the biggest iced tea fan. It's all yours.
Love iced tea.
Some lemon flavored water.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Lanker.
The folks here are just leaning in.
Now, I don't want to bash on lemons or lemonade, but are you one of those guys that likes a lemon in your water, or does
No.
it not matter?
I do not want a lemon in my
Yeah.
water, but I love lemonade. And the other thing that I really enjoy is a lemon Italian ice. When it's a hot day, walk down the boardwalk, lemon Italian ice on a normal summer.
Payoff pitch. Just a touch high. Good take there by Lanker, and he walks. They're at first and second as the Locos try and battle their way back in this. Yeah, we're going to get a visit here as Riley McCulley, pitching coach for the Lugnuts, will head out, have a word with Luke Lalamia. I'm the same way, Jesse. I'm not a big lemon guy. I love iced tea and water, obviously, but I'm not one to have lemons in either of those, but just like you, love some lemonade. You can't beat that on a summer day.
No, not at all. We actually sat down with some of the Lemonade Leaguers, coaching staff, players, just to say, what's your favorite kind of lemonade? Pink? The usual kind? Right on through. Got to hear everybody's opinions on lemonade. Having some fun. By the way, via the chat, Matt from Manalapan wants to know if the two of us are distanced in the booth.
Yes, we certainly are. We're at least 6 feet apart, maybe more. We're over in what's typically the official scoring booth, so it's a couple of booths to the left of where Jesse and I normally have our vantage point, right behind home plate. This is Sean Hattlesey that's in the box. A ball and no strikes. Certainly doing our part to social distance. The workers here at Cooley Law School Stadium for the Lugnuts wearing masks. And Jesse and I have masks as well. We've obviously taken those off to broadcast. But we'll wear those to and from the park while we're walking around. And, I mean, we're just like anybody else, Jesse, wanting this virus to go away and wanting things to go back to normal so we can have sports and everything else continue like it was before this pandemic started.
On the topic of masks, the Lansing Lugnuts and the Lansing Locos masks have arrived at the Nuts and Bolts store. So you can give Maddie a call, go online, purchase yourself your own Lugnuts or Locos mask.
3 balls and no strikes now to Hadalsi and
Hadalsi,
rather.
You know me. I purchased all of them. There are 3 different varieties. I got every single one of those masks.
Oh, they look great too. What, there's red, black for the Lugnuts, and then the Locos is that bright blue. You've got all the options. Visit that Nuts and Bolts store. Some great merchandise in there. Here's the 3-0 to Hadalsi. And that stays high. So this is a very similar half inning that we saw from the Lugnuts pitching in the second when Bilkovic couldn't find the zone. Right now, Lalamia struggling. He's walked 3 straight, and the bases are loaded. So for the Locos, this is exactly what they wanted. Down 5 and an opportunity to swing their way back into it or potentially draw some more walks. Brock Henley, the 9-hitter, stepping in. He walked in his only at-bat in the second. Bases are loaded. Here's a strike fired in by Luke Lalamia. Lalamia, a senior out of Davenport and grew up in Grand Ledge right here in Lansing. One ball and one strike.
I remember Adam calling Grand Ledge Comets football games. Grand Ledge is one of the most powerful teams in this mid-Michigan area. There's Luke Lalamia, who is a force on both sides of the ball.
Bouncing balls foul to make it a ball and 2 strikes, and a tremendous baseball program.
Yes.
Longtime legendary coach Pat O'Keefe.
Member of the Michigan Baseball Hall of Fame, which is located out beyond the left field wall.
And a perfect opportunity if you do want to come to these games. Sold out tonight to capacity, which is 100 people. You can't sit in the seats behind the field, so everyone is watching out in the outfield. The concourse is 360 here, wraps around, and that's where everyone's out watching tonight. So you could get a great opportunity to see those plaques if you came to a game. This is hit high to shallow right. Backing up is Acker, the second baseman, tries to double off and does at second. Making the throw to Davis, who laid out to keep a foot on. And Lanker gets doubled off. Big play right there by Van Acker.
Let me tell you what happened. In right field, Colin Cornwall didn't have a play, and he knew it, so he put his glove up as if to say, I do have a play. Garrett Lanker saw that, thought to himself, all right, the right fielder's not going to make the catch. I'm good. He had no idea that Van Acker had the chance. And Acker made a fine play, and after that, Lanker did his best, but we've seen his misadventures on the bases.
Yeah, and right there, you're exactly right. Cornwell trying to help with his communication to Acker, letting him know he didn't have a shot at it. Played well twice as it fooled Lanker at second base.
Imagine being Luke Lalamia. There's a reason they call double plays a pitcher's best friend.
Oh, no question about it. When the bases are loaded, you've walked 3 batters, trying to find that zone. He does so, gets the double play, and now has an opportunity to put a 0 up in the top of this 4th inning. 6-1 Lugnuts from Cooley Law School Stadium. Runner takes off. No throw down from Sotrez. And a stolen base for Hadalsi.
I don't know about you, Adam. I look at each of these firsts, and I think to myself, hey, highlight it, circle it, put a little lemon next to it. First stolen base in the history of the Lemonade League.
History all around being made tonight. First strikeout, first double, first single, first RBI, first run scored, first strikeout. There's a strike that grabs the corner, and it's 2-1 on Adam Purdy. 1 for 2 tonight. He doubled to open up this game. and then scored the lone run for the Locos. They took the lead 1-0, but since then, 6 straight runs for the Lugnuts, getting a run in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. We play here in the fourth, just about an hour and a half in. 2-1, chopped back. 2 hits for the Locos, 5 for the Lugnuts, and an error on each team. It'll be the only game of the week, and then we'll get going regularly as you take a peek at the schedule over the next 4 weeks. Next week, I believe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it'll be bunched up throughout the weekends. So again, if you're in the area, and Jesse, we've got the schedule right in front of us, and you want something to do to try and go out and catch a game, opportunity coming over the next few weekends here into late August to check out collegiate players representing the state of Michigan, the majority of the state of Michigan, whether they went to high school or are going to college.
Adam, I can go you a little bit better. After this game, next week, starting Wednesday, it's a little bit of a homestand. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to end July. And then Saturday and Sunday, August the 1st, August the 2nd. And that settles us into a nice little rhythm of Wednesday through Sunday games. Take Monday and Tuesday off, Wednesday through Sunday for 3 consecutive weeks.
3-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncer to first. Backs up Morrow. Underhand toss. And the catch isn't made by Lalamia. And it allows 2 runs to come in. And now taking off for second, tag is made by Davis as Purdy tried to get a little bit too aggressive, but what could have been a 0 up on the board instead brings in a couple. So we will head to the fourth. Lugnuts still in front, but it's just a 3-run game.
Since 1925, it's been made with the finest ingredients. Most of all, Corona is the original cerveza más fina of Mexico. And since 1925, it's been made with the finest ingredients. And most of all, with our heritage and our pride. In 1981, we didn't just bring a beer to the States. We brought our way of life. Because when you're proud of what you do, you want to share it with the world. Corona, we share more than a beer. We share the same history.
Ready to get going in the bottom of the fourth back at Cooley Law School Stadium for the Lemonade League opener. Alongside Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, Adam Jackson with you, streaming all of these games for free. You can see us on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Right now it's 6-2. Just 1 run ended up coming in the top of that 4th inning instead of 2. Okay, so it is 2. The scoreboard right now reads 6-2. It is 6-3. So I'm sure the guys right next to us will get that corrected. But a 3-run game after an opportunity for the Lugnuts to get out of that jam. An error cause allowed 2 to score. So it's tightened things up here. Van Acker leads things off, the Eaton Rapids product. And the first pitch slides in for strike 1. New pitcher on the hill, that's Aaron Houston. The right-hander out of CMU. 4 Central Michigan Chippewas in this league. That one gets away. Michigan State well represented throughout the coaching staff and players. That one slides outside. 2-1. Albion, Concordia, Davenport, Eastern Michigan, Grand Valley, Jackson College, Kalamazoo, Madonna, Oakland, Olivet, all represented throughout the state of Michigan with players that have come into the Lemonade League, and only a few guys that are playing college baseball outside of the state of Michigan, but then grew up in the state of Michigan. Swing and a miss on Van Acker. 2 strikes to his name, grounded out and walked so far in his first 2 opportunities. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. High heat right there. 88 on the gun. Aaron Houston getting the strikeout to enter in his first at-bat of the Lemonade League.
What I love is he challenged him. Van Acker swung from his heels twice. Twice he gave big home run cuts, and both times he came up empty.
Now batting number 2, Joey Paywan.
Swing and a miss to Joey Paywan.
Paywan.
0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. And it's 0-2 to Paywan.
Adam, about that with the Michiganders, the players from the same schools, one of the chief reasons for that is how is this league created? Word of mouth. When the news broke about the league, there were already players who were out there. It was just the official announcement was made, hey, Lemonade League. But before that, the Lemonade League, there was a lot going on behind the scenes just to say, can we make this happen? And it was players talking to their friends.
Just outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And according to GM Tyler Parsons, he said there's been a ton of interest for guys that still want to come into the league, the guys that wanted to participate. Again, just because there aren't a lot of options right now for baseball.
I think once this first game ends, and then next week, once those games begin, I think there's going to be even more interest. Because I think sometimes a human being needs to see something in motion before they really believe it.
3-2 is swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Aaron Houston. And now it'll be Andrew Morrow. So some momentum potentially for the Locos if they can put up a 0 after grabbing a couple of runs in the top half of this inning. 6-3 our score right now.
Have you ever heard the line, momentum is the next day's starting pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
In the Lemonade League, momentum is your next reliever.
That's right. Pretty much changing every inning here. And again, this is the only game of this week. One game here on the 23rd. Next game won't be until next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as we just went through the schedule a little bit with you. 5 straight games beginning on the 29th next week. So it'll be a little bit more of a wait until game 2. Popped up to right. Henley going back. Still finding it and makes the grab for the final out. So excellent work from Aaron Houston coming in for the task of getting through the 4th, and he did so well. A couple of strikeouts and a weak pop-up. We'll go to the 5th as we play 7. 6-3, Lugs over the Locos.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
My name is Chad Ross Kelly. I'm the director of baseball here for the Lemonade League, and I kind of oversee both the Locos and the Lugnuts.
What's your own baseball background?
I played at Michigan State. I was there 5 years. I was a catcher / DH. Had some injuries that made me go to DH. And then I was at LCC 2 years ago, and then this past year I was at Oakland.
As a player, did you play any summer ball?
I did, yeah. I had some good experiences. I was down in Ohio a couple summers, and it was a good opportunity for me to kind of just you can get kind of caught up in things in school, and sometimes it can be stressful. This is kind of your opportunity to go have fun with it. So as bad as that sounds.
As the director of baseball for the Lemonade League, what do you want the league to be for the players?
I would like to use that as kind of a developmental league. I want these guys to go back in the fall, get in front of their coaches at their schools, and I want them to kind of be in awe of, wow, they made some changes. Grew as a player, grew as a person. So yeah, the developmental side for me is huge. I want them to get comfortable. It's a good opportunity to get at bats, get innings pitched on the mound. Just so when they get back in the fall, they're ready to go.
Top of the fifth inning as we get started through 4, 6-3. Lugnuts over the Locos. Zach Hickey, Michael Steigels, and Alex McCormick up to face the new man on the hill, Derek Slocum. His first opportunity to pitch in the Lemonade League. Comes home with a ball outside. Redshirt freshman is Slocum out of Saginaw Valley State. Otsego, where he grew up. Facing the Chippewa, Zach Hickey, Mount Pleasant native. 2 hops it to second, and Van Acker throws him out.
Adam, this is the point of the game where you and I are watching real close at all those different uniform numbers to see, all right, are there any reserves in? Have the coaching staff, have they gone to their bench now that we're halfway through? But so far, Hickey to start, Steigels to bat for himself as well.
Yeah, and neither jersey, as we were just discussing in the break, coincidentally enough, neither jersey has numbers on the front and the back. They're just on the back. So bear with us here as we continue to kind of get to know these guys as well that have just come in here and kind of get to know their tendencies and what they look like out there on the field. Michael Steigels chops it back, and it's 1-1.
You know what will help is more guys like Aaron Houston, where I go, oh, I know it's Aaron Houston. It's a submariner.
That's right.
You're throwing from a peculiar arm angle. I'll figure out who you are in a hurry.
Something that makes you stand out a little bit. Steigels takes it outside. Like Steigels has got that front ankle guard on his left foot. 22 on the back of his Locos jersey. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. The Locos just added 2 runs after being blanked in the second and the third. They scored 1 more in the first. The Lugnuts with a run in the first, 3 in the third, and 2 in the third. Or 3 in the second and 2 in the third. 5-pitch walk to Michael Steigels. He's on for the first time. Locos looking for a little comeback potentially in game 1 as they keep the pressure on with a base runner.
Something for us to watch for. Jason Clark is warming up in the bullpen for the Lugnuts right now, and that, to my mind, suggests a mid-inning pitching change. That the Lugnuts coaching staff is figuring, all right, once Slocum records 2 outs, we're going to go right to Jason Clark. And I think that Jason's father has been with us in the Facebook chat.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of mid-inning changes. That's hard hit through the right side. First and second now for the Locos. Good swing from Alex McCormick.
His first hit was virtually the same. Turned on a pitch, ripped it through the right side.
Well, again, we go back to that last half inning where the Lugnuts had an opportunity to get the final out with no runs coming in after they loaded up the bases with 3 straight walks, but instead an error, and it allowed 2 to come home to make it 6-3 instead of 6-1. Now the Locos pressing again. Cade Preston, the batter. First baseman tonight, a couple of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Steigels is at second, McCormick at first. And Slocum on the hill pours in a strike. Good breaking ball, but it stays just inside. The sun has gone down enough that it's no longer covering any part of the diamonds. Started with that sun and high 80s temperatures, and this one got underway just after 7 o'clock. And now it's 3-1, so potentially an opportunity for the Locos to load up the bases here. Big spot for Derek Slocum on the hill, trying to keep this a 3-run lead for the Lugnuts. Sent out to right field. It's a base hit. Steigel's rounding third, and the throw comes right to the plate. He smartly turns around and heads back. Everyone moves up his station. They're loaded up. A couple of big swings to the right side for McCormick and Preston. And now Brandon Shire, an opportunity to deliver a big swing.
Here comes your Locos rally. What a chance. And a good thing for the Lugnuts that they've got Jason Clark nearly ready in the pen. They're checking in with him to see, can he come in right now? And I think he might still need at least 1 or 2 more warm-up pitches, or they would go to him. The coaching staff is on the top step of the dugout, first base side.
And it'll be Owen Rudock who pinch hits here.
Rudock.
So Rudock taking the spot of Brandon Shire, who walked and grounded out. Good stop behind the dish. Drew Cavanaugh, the new catcher.
How's your scorecard doing?
We're getting it filled in. Bouncer to short. They'll try for 2, and they'll get it. 6-4-3. Davis, Acker, and Morrow. And a clean sheet up in this 5th inning for Derek Slocum. Chance for the Locos missed there. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still Lugnuts up by 3 at Cooley Law School Stadium.
Sparrow Medical Minute, the latest health news and information from Sparrow, Mid-Michigan's healthcare leader.
I'm Cheryl Fritz here with Hillary Taransky, physician assistant with Sparrow Occupational Health. Employers are concerned about how to keep their employees healthy and make them feel safe as they return to work. How does Sparrow Occupational Health help?
So Sparrow's goal is to be a partner in health with the local employers. We've developed a program to help make sure that they can return back to work safely. This includes an online screening tool as well as the availability for Sparrow staff to come on site and help with screening. Occupational Health also offers COVID screening. This includes the nasal PCR swab as well as the antibody testing. We can evaluate employees that are ill and give guidance on when they can return back to work safely.
Where can people get more information on this important topic?
They can call Sparrow Occupational Health at 517-364-3900.
Very helpful. Thank you so much.
Medical Minute, brought to you by Sparrow. For health, for care, for life.
Bottom of the fifth as we come back to Cooley Law School Stadium. Adam Jackson and Jesse Goldberg-Strassler here in Michigan State Capitol. 6-3 our score. Lugnuts over the Locos at the moment. John Holt is the new pitcher. Logan Welch is the first-time batter. Low and inside to Welch. Holt, the senior out of Eastern Michigan, grew up right over there in Saline. This one flied into the bullpen area and hops into the seats. Honestly, haven't had a ton of foul balls go into the seats, because I think that's one of the things you think about is when these foul balls get collected, normally souvenirs for fans, but we really haven't had a ton of them go into the empty seats here at Cooley Law School Stadium tonight. And that's ball 4 outside. So first at bat for Welch is a walk, and he's aboard. Last half inning, the first that the Lugnuts didn't get a run. Scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. But put a 0 up on the board in the fifth. Here's Jake Rydquist. A couple of walks for Rydquist, who's playing at third base, and a couple of runs scored. Redshirt freshman out of Grand Valley State with that open stance. Moving that bat slowly back and forth. And he's behind a ball and 2 strikes to John Holt. The Eastern Michigan Eagle trying to get a punch out. Ahead of ball and 2 strikes. Three games that were pitched by Holt at Eastern Michigan this past season. He only threw 3 innings pitched, faced just 12 batters, allowed 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. So really small sample size. After the season then was halted because of COVID, and now an opportunity to play in the Lemonade League. Opening game tonight. First of 17 to finish out July and into August. And Rydquist stays alive. And again, really, Jesse, we've talked about it a couple of times tonight, but such a tremendous job by the staff of the Lugnuts, these players, the coaching staff, represented by Michigan State. That's ball 4 for the walk. All to come together really right after the official word came out that minor league baseball wasn't going to be happening here in 2020. So then the turnaround time from no minor league baseball, because you had to sit and kind of wait to see if there was going to be some sort of semblance of a season, then to put this thing together and get it off and get the first game going tonight. It's taken a lot of hard work, and it's great to see it come through.
Adam, I think about 2 different things. The first is, yes, all the hard work to get us here. And now we're here. So just to get to opening night has been so many hours put in. There have been so many obstacles that have popped up. And so, hey, here we are. There's baseball. There's collegiate players wearing the Locos and Lugnuts uniforms and getting games in. This pitch is about to be delivered by an Eastern Michigan Eagle. There's Drew Kavanaugh, an incoming freshman to Eastern Florida State, who is just a high school senior, getting a taste of the Lemonade League. There's a lot that is just fascinating that they actually accomplished. This was a dream that became a reality.
A huge step 1 to get to where we are tonight. Kavanaugh sprays this right at the shortstop, and a double up for 2 outs. I believe that's Runnock out there at short. That was Welch there. Not much he could do. It was hard hit, but it was right at the shortstop, so he gets doubled off on good contact. Quickly 2 away.
Adam, you're right. That's Owen Ruddock, who's taken over at shortstop for Shire.
Again, bear with us as we continue to go through the changes. They are prevalent here in such small sample sizes, 7-inning games and only 17-game season. Everyone trying to get an opportunity to get some baseball in. Jacob Badalamenti now. 1 for 2, RBI double in the third. Runner takes off. Ridequiz slides in safely as the ball sails to center. Good backup, though, to keep him at the bag.
I enjoy that. I enjoy the times in this game that even when Darren Davis tried to steal second, then he had to go back on a foul ball, the aggressiveness of the players who are not sitting back and waiting for something to happen, they're saying, hey, look, I can make an impact on this game in multiple ways.
Holt brings it home, and it's tipped into the glove. Ball and a strike on Jacob Badalamenti. That RBI double in the third. Part of the last runs that were scored by the Lugnuts.
Fun thing to me, Badalamenti, a Wayne State Warrior, so their colors green and gold. Those are basically the colors of the Lemonade League. That if they were designing these uniforms based on the Lemonade League, you would likely see these teams in green and gold.
And he's repping that Wayne State batting helmet. Probably why you thought of that, Jesse, as you look down and see you've got the yellow bill of the helmet and the green shell. And facing a green and white Eastern Michigan Eagle on the hill. And John Holt misses with that one high. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. We have not had a full inning with no runs. We have an opportunity for one here if one more out occurs. Payoff pitch. And Badalamenti stays alive.
Same night that Major League Baseball is returning, opening night.
I think that's going to be a lot of what I'm doing this weekend. Watching baseball. Just great to have it back.
All the sports played in the bubble.
There's ball forward to Badalamenti.
Lemonade League has a field. The Blue Jays are still trying to figure out their field. I know there are a lot of folks who are saying, hey, Blue Jays, Cooley Law School Stadium, beautiful place, consider it. They're still trying to figure things out.
Well, and the GM of the Lugnuts, Tyler Parsons, put out a statement yesterday on Twitter that he's contacted the Blue Jays and told them if they're interested, they would certainly welcome here in Michigan State's capital as they try and figure it out where they're going to play. They open the season on the road, but it'll come quick. You got to find a home. Colin Cornwell swats this to short. Ruddock up with it on the run throw, and it's not in time. Zip throw back to third. That one's late as well. Good thought, though, from Preston. And the bases are full. Well, that was a tough play over there for Owen Ruddock. Had to throw it on the run, and he put some good pace to it. But Cornwell was able to beat it out. So Ridequist at third, Badalamenti second, Cornwell at first, and Darren Davis, who's had a heck of a night at the plate, steps in. 2 for 3, double in the first, 2-run single in the second before flying out in the third. Can the Locos keep this a 3-run game? And you can't walk him, obviously. Down 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, you could walk him, but you
Certainly.
just don't want to.
John Holt trying to put that 0 up in his first inning of work. He has walked 3 batters already. Popped back towards the press box and out of play.
gutter ball means a different thing in bowling than it does in baseball. Here at Cooley Law School Stadium, you hit a ball onto the roof, it might land in the gutter.
And that would always be a depressing moment for the fans that would wait willingly, ready to come back down and hope that ball gives them an opportunity to grab it. But sometimes it would land in the gutter or goes a little bit too far and lands outside the stadium after rolling along the roof. Big pitch here, 3-1. And that's ball 4, and a run comes in. 4th walk of this half inning for John Holt. And now a visit from his pitching coach, Cam View.
Adam, what this makes me think about is all the players that we get to see in the minor league season with Lansing Lugnuts. Guys with really great stuff, really effective pitchers, except every now and then they get wild. And the main reason that they get wild is that they just don't repeat their mechanics. They don't repeat their delivery. So if you're a pitcher, you're trying hard and that ball's not going where you want it to go, and the harder you try, the more the baseball betrays you.
And that's
tough appearance right here for John Holt. Like we saw, tough appearance earlier for Brendan Belkovic, tough appearance for Luke Lalamia, just in terms of their command.
Yeah, and as you try and master sports or anything that you're trying to be good at, that's what you're looking for, right? That consistency, the mechanics of continuously doing the same thing the right way to get you the results that you want. And right now, that consistency certainly hasn't been there for Holt in this half inning. However, if you can get a final out here and only give up a run, take that as a win with 4 walks given up. Van Acker now to the plate. It looks like, yep, Van Acker's still in the game. Walked in the second, ground out and a strikeout in between that at bat. This one gets away. Runner coming in and the ball thrown away. So Badalamenti scores. And 2 runs have come in for the Lugnuts. Both base runners move up 90 feet, so they're at second and third. And it's now 8-3.
And this was a case where with a better throw, there's a play to be made at home plate. And the throw just was a poor one. John Holt is a big guy, but what, 5, 6, 7 feet over his head?
Yeah, it would have been a really close play. Could have potentially gotten it out. 2-0. There's a swing and a miss.
It's a great response by Holt. Come back, give the batter some filth like that. Van Acker is a capable hitter.
Out of Concordia. He sends this one out to right, tailing away from the line. And it'll hop off the tall Sparrow wall in right. That comes inward into the field of play and then juts down. 337 down that right field side, 330 to left. And the wall will play tricks on you as it's tall in right for a bit and then out from left center to the deepest part in right center. It's that tall 20-foot wall, 407 to right center. This one slicing out that way. It'll stay in play. Reaching up and gloving it is Steigels as he circles around it to keep it at just 2 runs scoring in the 5th. But add on to that lead for the Lugnuts. 8-3 now with just 2 innings to play in Michigan State Capitol.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. When wildfires threatened communities, John jumped into danger, fighting through fear and fatigue until the fire was contained. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
5 innings complete. Let's start up the 6th inning in the Lemonade League. The Lugnuts 8, the Locos 3. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. I've got Adam Jackson by my side. Huge thanks to Daniel Higgins producing back at the board. Not only do we have Daniel in the control room, we've got Terry in the control room, we've got the whole crew holding it down at Cooley Law School Stadium, distanced well and masked up. Hey, Mask Up Michigan. They're making sure that you are able to watch this game, a live stream, as we open up the top of the 6th inning. And there's a new man on the mound, and Jason Clark, the right-hander out of Saginaw Valley State. He starts things off with a fastball for a called strike. Clark will take on the 7, 8, 9 batters, and that begins with the man wearing number 7, Garrett Lanker. The 6-foot junior Clark with a fastball high. A ball and a strike on Lanker, who's been hit by a pitch. He's drawn a walk today. He's had all sorts of adventures and misadventures defensively on the bases. He's been involved in an awful lot. And that stays, no, called a strike at the letters. Strike 2 to Lanker. And the Locos are down by 5 runs. Clark's pitch, swung at and missed. Down goes Lanker. First batter up, first batter down, and first strikeout for Jason Clark. Well, Jason Clark was initially added to the Lemonade League roster. He was thought maybe he was going to be a two-way player, but then he showed up. He said, no, pitcher only, let's go. So he's pitcher and just a pitcher here in the league. Misses inside.
Love to see that, Jesse, because you really get away from the two-way players outside of high school. You don't see them very often in college, and certainly not very often in the pros.
Here's a two-way player in Matthew Williams, who takes the called strike on the outside corner.
But yeah, there's a lot of them that are listed as two-way players here in the Lemonade League.
I see it in a couple of different ways. Williams looks at the high heat. Just a little bit too high from Clark. Number one, why limit your options, right? If you can hit and you can pitch, why not continue to do both until the time comes where you really need to focus on one or the other? There's a but, though. That misses from Clark down. I think that it's more difficult if you've got several different things to focus on at once. Imagine if all you've got to worry about is focusing on pitching. Pitching's tough. Strike 2 called on the outside corner at the letters. We see pitchers just devote themselves to their craft and how tough it is and all that there is to learn. Try to pitch and learn to hit. Hitting is tough too. Williams stays alive.
And always impressed by those guys that switch up what they do potentially once they get to college or once they get professionally picked up by an organization and they say, hey, we'd like you to do this instead of what you'd been doing because we see potential there. And some guys can do it like that, the flip of the switch, and it's not easy.
Exactly. Here it comes. Grounded down to the third baseman, Rodquist, and right through him. In left field, Logan Welch has to get it in. And on at first base is Matthew Williams. And that's an error. Error on the third baseman, Rodquist.
Yeah, that one took an interesting hop. He certainly didn't play it where he thought it was going to be because he had over-committed to that ball, and that's why it slipped by him.
Ben Compton steps in next. Compton, the sophomore from Olivet. And a fastball high. Adam, I met Ben Compton some years back. Not on the baseball field. I was brought in to speak to his broadcasting class. Ben Compton showed up for media day and he said, hey, I remember you. Check on the runner at first base, but back in goes Williams. The Locos are battling and they're batting and they're battling and they're trailing 8-3. Runner at first and one man out in the top of the 6th inning.
That's the voice of the Lugs here for what, a decade now?
Plus, Clark misses high.
11 years?
So the fun thing with math, is now missing a minor league baseball season. 2020 was going to be my 12th season. So now you can add in Lemonade League. You can say 11 seasons plus.
There you go.
Williams has good speed at first base. Clark hits the topmost portion of the zone. He's living up there. He's challenging Compton to get around on him.
Jesse, you know we're not going to get through a broadcast with you and I where we don't play our typical game of name the nickname of the college, because that was our favorite thing to do last year.
Oh, that's right. Pickoff throw. Williams barely back in at first base.
Here's a tricky one for you.
Oh,
I didn't
that
make it
is
easier,
tough.
but Olivet College, which is just south of Lansing by about, 30, 45 minutes.
Williams is leaning, by the way, at first base, but he's not running, as Compton spoils this one foul. Here's the peculiar thing. I think Olivet High School is the Eagles.
Yes.
But Olivet College is not, right? Or is Olivet College still the Eagles?
Nope, they're not the Eagles. You are correct, though. That is the high school, the Olivet Eagles.
So I remember the high school, and it always seems to me that the high school and the college, you should have some sort of connecting nicknames, right? It's funny to me that the Michigan State Spartans and the East Lansing Trojans. There's a swing and a miss at the high cheddar, and Clark strikes out Compton. That's the second strikeout for Jason Clark. Compton dispatched, top of the order coming up, and we've got a pitching change happening. As I tap out, and I say, Olivet College, if you want to give me a hint.
Starts with a C. And it's not a traditional, like, Cats or something like that. It's not
Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's tough. This is a tough one.
Is it a nickname that any other team shares?
No.
What category is it in?
Sky.
The Olivet Clouds. The Olivet Comets.
The Comets.
Like the Grand Ledge Comets.
Yes.
Although the Clouds would have been hilarious.
Right.
But the Olivet Comets.
Yeah, so collegiately, I don't know of any other colleges, and I'm sure there's some out there, but off the top of my head, Comets, I can't think of a nickname in college.
By the way, I'd like to say thank you to Christy checking in via Facebook, trying to help me out, letting us know it's the Comets. Christy sharing the same last name as Van Acker from Concordia. Now I know. They're the Olivet Comets. But I connect them with the Olivet Eagles. So I went to college in central New York where Cornell University is. And Cornell University's nickname is? Adam?
The Bears?
They do have a bear in their logo.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. That's
they are
not
the
right.
Big Red.
The Big Red. I'm just seeing the bear that's on their logo.
Right? So
That's
Cornell is the
embarrassing. I
Big
should've
Red.
gotten that.
So therefore, what is the high school of the area? Do you want to guess?
Is it the same thing? Is
They're
that
the
where
Little Red.
Oh, okay. So that's
Ithaca
where you're
High School Little Red for the Cornell Big Red. Here's Cameron Marnin now in to pitch on the mound for the Lugnuts, replacing Jason Clark, who goes 2/3 of an inning with 2 strikeouts and 1 runner who reached on an error.
Yeah, I just spoke without thinking there. I knew it was Big Red. I immediately thought of the big bear that's on their logo.
Can you name me Dartmouths?
Ooh. Wow, Ivy League.
They're the Big Green.
Ivy League is tough. I don't have my Ivy League.
It's all the colors.
Yeah.
I was going color to color to color, like the Cincinnati Reds. It's all of those teams who back in the day, you just name them whatever color their uniforms were.
It's like going with the logo of just the first letter of your team name. Just make it simple.
That's exactly right. Top of the order, time for the Locos. Bring up Adam Purdy again against Cameron Martin. Cameron Martin at 6'3" and a freshman from Lansing Community College out of Eisenhower High School. At first base, it's Matthew Williams, and he's a threat to run, but he's not going as Purdy steps out of the way of a pitch in. By the way, to Janie Mudd Acker checking in via Facebook chat, thank you. We're glad that you're loving this broadcast. We appreciate your company and everybody else who's checked in. He's Adam Jacksa, full credit. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. This pitch misses up and away. You know, if we can't bring you Lansing Lugnuts minor league baseball, we are thrilled to bring you Lemonade League action. That bounces away from the catcher, Cavanaugh. Up to second base, Williams. Stops right there as Cavanaugh retrieves. Cavanaugh is an interesting story that we'll have time to go into as the season goes forward, but he's from IMG Academy. Now, he's a native Michigander, but Adam, I know that you've heard IMG Academy before.
Yeah, down in Bradenton, Florida. That's where a lot of guys like to go. Those academies have become more and more popular now.
And there's ball 4. Adam Purdy takes first base.
Where guys have the opportunities, whether it's basketball or football or baseball, that if they are looking for a little bit more competition to be elevated, you can go to some of those academies and get the better competition and potentially better prepare yourself for hopefully having a collegiate and maybe a professional career down the road.
By the way, it wasn't ball 4. Now is ball 4. In case you're having any kind of deja vu, Adam Purdy takes first base.
You know, Jesse, as the players are a bit rusty, so are we. It's
No, I looked down at Adam discarding his bat, and I figured he's a trustworthy guy. There have been moments in baseball history where batters have taken a walk on ball 3 and nobody called them back. And there have also been moments, there's one notable one. Lenny Randall, where the count of 4 balls and 2 strikes, it was ball 4, he never left the batter's box. So the pitcher on the mound, the Phillies' Tug McGraw, said, okay, and he filmed the pitch, and Randall tripled. And the Phillies are going, can we just say that he should have walked instead?
Right, they thought they were getting the better deal. Maybe we can strike him out or get an out. Instead, triple.
There was a situation, you can look this up on YouTube, with Albert Bell when he was playing for the Orioles, and he got hit by a fastball on his left arm, his left shoulder. And Adam, he refused to leave the batter's box. He said, no, I don't want the hit by pitch. I want to stay in. Zach Hickey's the batter, and he lines one up the middle for a base hit off a broken bat. Here comes Williams around third base. A throw comes into third where Purdy slides in safely, and Hickey slides in safely, feet first into second without a throw. An RBI single for Hickey, plus the aggressive base running. And now the Locos trail 8-4.
Well, Zach's just such a knowledgeable baseball player, and he gives great effort. Smart to realize that the throw's going to third. He hustled out of the batter's box instead of turning that into just a single and a run scored. He gets in scoring position, and now at second and third. And a good opportunity here for the Locos to add on to get some more runs.
You said it. Michael Steigels is the batter. On the first offering's a breaking ball in there. A called strike from Marnin. There's a foul at home plate. This inning began with a strikeout of Lanker and a strikeout of Compton sandwiched around, the error allowing Williams to reach. And then after that, the call went to the bullpen, and Cameron Marnin came in to relieve Jason Clark with a walk and an RBI single to greet him. Steigels bounces that foul down the right side, hopping right off the camera well. Gets the first baseman involved. It's the top of the 6th inning, but keep in mind it's a 7-inning game. So it's really like it's the 8th inning. Steigels goes down on strikes. 3 strikeouts of Locos in the top of the 6th, and more important, the Lugnuts once again strand 2 Locos in scoring position. But the Locos do push one across. And as we've played 5.5 at Cooley Law School Stadium, it's the Lugnuts 8 and the Locos 4 in the Lemonade League. Every Lemonade League game broadcast is brought to you free, and we're thankful for that, across multiple social and digital platforms, including the Lugnuts Facebook and Twitter pages. Twitter not tonight, we'll figure that out. Facebook, YouTube, we're bringing it to you, and that's thanks to these Lugnuts partners: Farm Bureau Insurance, Jackson National Life Insurance, Dan Henry Distributing, Granger, General Motors, Blue Cross Blue Shield, LAFQ, Dean Transportation, WMU Cooley Law School, Capital Region International Airport, Lansing Board of Water and Light, Physicians Health Plan, Meyer, Gordon Food Service, MI Student Aid, and Sparrow. Thank you big time to these partners, because we are so proud to bring you these games absolutely free. As we return to Cooley Law School Stadium, it's 8-4. The Lugnuts are leading the Locos. And the Lugnuts are coming up against the new pitcher. As you see, number 23 has taken over. It's Nolan Knopf. He's a two-way player, an infielder when he's not pitching, out of Saginaw Valley State, Knauf. If you're around the mid-Michigan area, you remember Knopf as a DeWitt Panther. We've mentioned those colleges that are well represented. How about DeWitt, represented by Nolan Knopf, Michael Steigels, Cade Preston, Mark Connolly as well, although you're not seeing him here today. We expect to see Mark in the upcoming days. All the while, Joey Paywan leads things off. In the bottom of the sixth inning for the Lugnuts, batting third in the order. And Knopf with a fastball hits the outside corner at the logo. This is the 3, 4, 5 spots in the order for the Lugnuts. And their last chance to add some insurance before we go to the seventh. That just barely missed outside from Knopf. It's Andrew Morrow on deck to hit for himself. And then after him, Logan Welch, 3, 4, 5 to challenge Knopf. And Adam, this was what I was wondering. Who's the closer for one of these teams? Paywan swings right through that fastball away. All right, that would seem to be if you're going to come in relief. If you're a certain type of human being who enjoys playing baseball, you like the late innings. Gets your heart racing a little bit.
Yeah, and I think they got to still figure that out, but it'll be interesting to see who they throw out there in this first game.
The 2-2 fades up and away, and Paywan has worked the count full. Nolan Knopf following Jesse Hakinen, Brendan Bilkovic, Ryan Abenth, Aaron Hewson, and John Holt to the mound. As Paywan swats into the air to a right field, where it gets down in front of Steigels, and he misplays it. Paywan digs for a second. Purdy's throw arrives on a hop and not handled there at the bag by Ruddock. Paywan is into scoring position immediately. My expectation, Adam, is single and then E9 on the right fielder.
Yep, I think that's accurate. That's what I have. But again, great hustle. Paywan got around first, took a peek, and able to scoot over to second, get in scoring position, help out his team.
Here's the powerful Andrew Morrow. And Knopf immediately falls behind in the count. Well, Morrow today is 1 for 3. An RBI double to left, a fly out to left, and a pop out to second. And what that tells me is he is lifting the baseball, or at the very least trying to get under it. This one, though, set on the ground and right between the shortstop and the third baseman. That's a base hit to left to move Paywan over to third base. Morrow has his second hit of the game. Just put it right in between Ruddock and Hickey.
Most likely would have scored the run if it wasn't hit to that side, because Paywan, he had to wait, see if it got through between those two infielders. Did the right thing, and instead of scoring, just goes to third. But again, good base running by Paywan, and a good hit right there by Morrow, and the Lugnuts in business to add on.
Here is Logan Welch. Walked his first time up. Takes ball one high. He replaced Zaid Walker. The starting left fielder went 0 for 2. And then Welch reached last inning. He led off the inning with by drawing a walk, but then he was eliminated on a double play liner. Swings and misses this pitch from Knopf. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. That bottom of the 5th inning could have been a much bigger inning for the Lugnuts, but as it is, they're leading the Locos by an 8-4 score. Knopf sets and throws. Check swing. Missed the zone. They appeal. He did not. Is that our very first appeal of a check swing in this game?
I believe it is.
Lemonade League firsts, Adam.
Keep checking them off, Jesse.
That's right. Home plate umpire Mitch Tresiak, bases umpire Dino DeLeon. Runner takes off from first base. A throw down skips right through, gets into center field, and here's Paywan to score the 9th Lugnuts run. Morrow drew the throw. The throw was a poor one from Lanker, just could not come in, and You know what? On that short hop, tough to handle. The Lugnuts have now scored in every inning except the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, they have kept the pressure on all night, taking advantage of mistakes by the Locos, but cashing in on opportunities as well.
That's the second error of this inning on the Locos. All the while, Welch strikes out swinging. That goes down as a stolen base for Morrow. But it was the error on Lanker that allows Paywan to score. You know, if Joey Paywan had just broken for home plate, as soon as he saw Lanker rise to throw, could have had himself a stolen base of home.
Dare I say, Alejandro Kirk-esque, Jesse?
You dare, and you would be correct.
Our Lugnuts fans know all too well about the big fella rumbling and stumbling home.
Jake Rydquist fouls one off. By the way, warming up in the pen for the Lugnuts for the seventh inning is John Fantazzo, the fantastic John Fantazzo. Adam brings up Alejandro Kirk because he has been a sensation. He went from the 2019 Lugnuts into, if and when he makes his major league debut this summer for the Toronto Blue Jays, a lot of people are going to fall in love with him. And a lot have already fallen in love with him. Fastball misses high to Rydquist, who has walked all 3 plate appearances, and he has scored all 3 times he's been aboard. Alejandro Kirk from last year, starting the season with the Lugnuts, then getting promoted up to Dunedin. They had him in spring training for the Blue Jays, and he just kept on doing good things. Rydquist went around too far. Laker has to throw over to first base. That completes the strikeout. Morrow seeking to advance, slides in ahead of Preston's throw. Good base running by Andrew Morrow, now 90 feet away from scoring, all the while back-to-back strikeouts for Nolan Knopf. Now the batter is Drew Cavanaugh. In Alejandro Kirk, if you have not seen him, he is about 5'8", 260 pounds. Is that about right?
Yes.
This pitch escapes the catcher Lanker. Morrow for the plate. The shovel toss to Knopf, covering not in time, and Morrow is in. He singles, he steals second, he takes third on a strikeout, and he scores on a wild pitch, and Andrew Morrow has given the Lugnuts a 10-4 lead over the Locos.
And Kirk, for that frame, Jesse, he can move. And that's why we saw him steal home last year. And
immediately.
As you would assume as an opponent, you wouldn't expect a big guy like that, a catcher, to be able to move the way he did and take home plate. And that's, I think, what helped him out. We certainly loved watching it.
Yes, we did. His very first hit with the Lugnuts, an infield single. Drew Cavanaugh takes inside. 2 outs and nobody on. 2 runs in this bottom of the 6th for the Lugnuts. They're leading 10-4.
It was really cool to see all the former Lugnuts, Jesse, on the Toronto Blue Jays official roster.
Cavanaugh bounces down to first. Preston handles it himself, and we've played 6. We'll talk more about that come the 7th inning, because that's where we're going. It is 10-4 Lugnuts on opening day in the Lemonade League. We begin the 7th and the final inning at Cooley Law School Stadium on Lemonade League opening day. There's the left-hander John Fantazzo taking over. His Lugnuts are 3 outs away from the win. Oh, by the way, the winning team, from what I heard, gets first cracks at the post-game spread. Gets their food.
Ah.
Now, it's not truly a spread. Everything is distance in terms of how the players are fed. But I'm just saying, there's all sorts of incentives, and who likes to lose, right? Nobody. So, the Locos are 3 outs away from losing. And it begins with their cleanup hitting DH, Alex McCormick. We start up the 7th inning with this pitch. Fouled back. That yellow baseball flying directly beneath the broadcast booth. Right just outside the left hand of Adam Jackson.
I'm going to be honest, Jitsi, I probably wouldn't have made the catch, but it's all about the effort, right?
And bring your glove next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It is 4-5-6 due up. McCormick, Creston, and Ruddock. And this is something I actually expected to see more of. As a visit to the mound by the catchers being unfamiliar with the pitchers. Just talking about, hey, what do you throw? What do you want to throw? So much of pitching, the catcher and the pitcher have to be on the same page. And you'll hear that anytime a pitcher has a really good performance. He'll say, the catcher and I were on the same page. Usually in just those words. Whatever he was putting down, that's what I wanted to throw. Didn't shake him off at all. Fantazzo's fastball is outside. Fantazzo, a Saginaw Valley State Cardinal. Last year made 16 relief appearances, 21 2/3 innings. And this year he was off to 3 appearances. He had picked up a win in 4 2/3. High fly ball by McCormick to left field. Backs up Welch down the line. He's got a play. And he makes the catch toward the corner. Adam, we were discussing in the bottom of the 6th inning, the former Lansing Lugnuts, the players who've played on this field, who are now in the major leagues. Major League Baseball beginning play tonight. And looking over those 30-man opening day rosters.
Yeah.
We know those names.
Yeah, and there was 7 or 8 at least that were on the 30-man roster. They've got the 30-man rosters and then the taxi squad this year. So guys that came through here at one point. And they make their way up to the major leagues, whether it be with the Blue Jays or if there's trades that go on. It's always cool to see the path to getting to the top. And many Lugnut players have gotten to the pinnacle and gotten into the major leagues.
Can I tell you that there's an interesting race that I'm watching? All the while, Cade Preston takes a called strike on the outside corner from Fantazzo. The Lugnuts and Fantazzo out there on the field, 2 outs away from a 10-4 win. 149 former Lansing Lugnuts have made their major league debut. Next one will be 150. I got 2 candidates for you.
Mm-hmm.
Preston takes a ball. Good eye. The San Francisco Giants, in the Rule 5 draft in December, took Danny Jimenez, a 2018 Lugnuts closer. He made their roster. And the San Diego Padres had an outfielder impress them so much that they put him on their roster. There's a called strike to Preston off the off-speed. Edward Olivares in 2017 was the leadoff hitter in a lineup for Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And Edward Olivares made the San Diego Padres opening day roster. Fantazzo's pitch. Scooped up by the catcher Cavanaugh. Cade Preston has worked the cat full with 1 out and nobody on. And Owen Ruddock on deck.
Well, I'd say those are 2 good guesses if they're both on the rosters. And they're going to see their debuts at some point or another.
That's exciting. Payoff. Did he go around too far? On appeal, yes, he did. That's strike 3. The ball got away from Cavanaugh. Preston doesn't know what to do. The ball went into the dugout on the third base side, so Preston just gets first base. Cade Preston was all sorts baffled. But the home plate umpire, Mitch Tresiak, saying, hey, don't worry about it. It's strike 3 on appeal. Dino DeLeon, the bases umpire, rang him up. But because that ball bounced out of play, he gets a base.
I mean, either way, whether it was walk or strikeout, he was getting first base
right?
Because it went into the dugout. So that'll work out. Locos need all the base runners and more. Try and get back into this one, their final at bat here in the 7th.
There's a punch shot foul down the right side. Off the bat of Owen Ruddock. Came into play shortstop for Brandon Shire.
Jesse, let me question you this. You gave us who you think are the next Lugnut potentially to make his major league debut. How about the last Lugnut or next Lugnut to make his Toronto Blue Jay debut? Who do you think that is?
Good question. Maybe Alejandro Kirk. But I've got another suggestion as this one's fouled down the right side. There's a right-hander named Ty Tice, reliever. Ty Tice only stands about 5'8", 5'9", throws 95, 96, 97 miles per hour. Is a great basketball player, all-state high school basketball player in Arkansas. I think that he makes the Toronto Blue Jays roster. Now, not yet. There's a ground ball hit down to third, but foul before it reaches Rydquist. Ruddock has to return to home plate. That's my guess is Ty Tice. But I wouldn't blame you if you want to go with Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah.
You want a real dark horse?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you another 2019 Lansing Lugnut. Joey Murray.
Yeah, he climbed the ladder quickly in the minor leagues last year, yeah.
That bounces in. But baseball is back, and because it's going to be such a sprint, my guess is, whether it's players testing positive for COVID-19 at the major league level like Juan Soto today, or whether it's injuries, whether it's fatigue, whatever comes up, we don't know what's going to happen in this shortened season. That depth is going to be tapped. That's sprayed through the right side for a base hit for Ruddock. Cade Preston's going for third. Cornwell's throw is cut off. A relay to second base, and Ruddock is doomed. Out number 2. All the while Preston's at third base, but the Locos are down to their very last out. What a smart cutoff in the infield.
Absolutely. Exactly what I was going to say. Great cutoff. He knew exactly where he was going to go to it. If Ruddock decided to go to second, and that's exactly what he did. Made it an easy play, and now they're an out away.
And the visit, and how about this? You know what, why not? With nearly every out recorded except one, and the Lugnuts leading 10-4 in the top of the 7th inning, let's go to the bullpen, and let's call upon Logan Butchkowski, the Central Michigan Chippewa.
Well, Logan's a hard thrower. It's been trying to develop that accuracy throughout his time at CMU, but he was a big contributor, again, last year, part of the team that went to that Starkville Regional as the Chippewas got into the NCAA tournament. So he's a guy that's got a fastball that works pretty well, and he was teammates with Zach Hickey, of course, not only at CMU but also at Mount Pleasant. A real good baseball program up there in Mount Pleasant, and Butchkowski, he's a hard thrower.
That's what I read. Everywhere that I looked about him, Adam, was hard thrower, just constantly.
I nailed it, didn't I?
Well, here we go. Garrett Lanker is due to hit next, trying to keep the Locos' hopes alive.
I watched him a couple years ago, Jesse, and he was playing college baseball with just 2 pitches. I mean, he had the off-speed pitch and he had the fastball, but that fastball is lethal.
Butchkowski on the mound for the Lugnuts as we are wrapping up opening day in the Lemonade League. He's got a little bit of John Cena to play him in. And now that those warm-up tosses are complete, Mitch Tresiak is going to whisk off home plate. Butchkowski, meanwhile, get himself comfortable on the mound. And he's ready to go against Garrett Lanker in a 10-4 game for the Lugnuts. At some point, we might see that one-on-one home run derby should a game be tied after 7 innings. But barring a wild comeback for the Locos, it's not going to be tonight. At third base, it's Cade Preston. That's over the head of the batter, Lanker. How about that ricochet? Ricochet right back to Kavanaugh. And Preston can't go anywhere at third base.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time we've had that happen where it goes off the backstop and comes right back to the delight of the catcher to their mitt. Cooley Law School Stadium giving off favorable bounces because it also is happy that baseball is back.
That's right. That field was gleaming today. Lanker swings lead on that fastball. 94, it showed up on the radar gun.
Yeah.
Lanker has been hit by a pitch, drawn a walk, and struck out. Batting seventh in the order with Matthew Williams, hoping for another chance. Buchkowski's college teammate Preston is at third base. That's high. I wonder if you're Drew Cavanaugh. You're a young catcher. I believe that Drew Cavanaugh is the youngest player here. Catching Logan Buchkowski might be difficult for a veteran catcher, don't you think? This is quite the challenge. That's down. The general feeling with the Buchkowski is, as long as he spots it up, he's not going to get hit. But he might not know where it's going. Then there's the other thing, Adam. If he doesn't know where it's going, how can the batter know where it's going? So the batter's got no shot there either. But Garrett Lanker is a patient hitter, and he's going to force Buchkowski to come to him. Controlling the pace of the at-bat right now. And Cavanaugh wants to get on the same page as Buchkowski.
Yeah, and again, for these catchers, you know, there's two ends of the battery here where the pitchers are coming in and they're facing maybe 3 or 4 batters and then potentially going out or potentially getting taken out throughout the half innings. The catchers having to adjust to the different pitchers is not easy either.
Here comes the 3-1 to Lanker. Foul tipped right into Cavanaugh's mitt. I always enjoy seeing after a catcher-pitcher conversation what happens the very next pitch.
Well, he went fastball, and I would suspect he's going to go fastball again.
Rear back, here it is, Garrett Lanker. 3-2 with 2 outs. That just missed. Adam, that pitch was moving. Maybe it went moving in the wrong direction. Maybe it had a little bit too much run and sink for Buchkowski from the zone to out of the zone. But that's a tough take for Lanker.
Yeah, it really is. I think you're right. It looked like it was coming across the inner half of the plate until it swayed back inside. But still, a good place to leave it.
Well, that brings up Matthew Williams, and Buchkowski falls behind in the count. Now, what have we seen today? I would say, Adam, a running theme has been pitcher ineffectiveness, pitcher wildness, popping up from time to time, inning after inning. That has been what has opened the door for the other team's offense. That evens up the count, and there's nothing that Williams is going to do with that. 95 here. There are Major League scouts in attendance, and whether they're watching Williams the batter or Buchkowski on the mound or anybody else, we will continue to have these games scouted. The 1-1. How about that curveball? And Williams was frozen.
There you go. I mean, when you have the speed that Buchkowski has, you can go fastball, 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 expect it to blow by or the batter not to make solid contact, and then you throw in that off-speed pitch and just completely throws him off.
There's the fastball, and somehow Williams survived it. Up to 97 on the stadium gun. When you follow the curve with the fastball, what's a batter to do?
Well, I think he did the best that he could there, just staying alive and getting a piece of it.
A ball and 2 strikes. Williams taps it fouled on the third base side, and he's hanging tough. That was another breaker from Buchkowski.
I mean, these guys, hand-eye coordination is just phenomenal. I mean, switching pitches on him, you're going from high 90s to that breaking ball. 3 straight pitches, different pitches from the last he saw, and he's still getting a piece of 2 of them.
And the CMU reliever to the freshman from Albion. Takes ball 2 outside.
What a great at-bat.
It's one of those at-bats where Matthew Williams can say afterward, you know, I'm not going to face a lot of arms better than this. Guys will have different stuff, but maybe not as electric. The 2-2. That's cold strike 3 at the knees on the outside corner, and this ball game is over. The Lugnuts defeat the Locos 10-4, and you can't blame Williams at all for just watching that one pass by. That is paint.
Yeah, really good pitch right there by Buczkowski. Again, give credit. That was a nice at-bat, but breaking ball, back to the fastball, to the breaking ball, and then fastball again, and Buczkowski put it right on the edge. Really nice pitch, and good performance here for the Lugnuts to kick off the Lemonade League, get that first victory out of the way.
How about that? Well, a 10-4 victory for the Lugnuts over the Locos on Lemonade League opening day from Cooley Law School Stadium. Adam Jacksa, I put to you, do you have a player of the game tonight?
Well, I think it was early. I really like Darren Davis. He set the tempo after the Lugnuts gave up the run in the first inning. It was Davis that led off the first inning with the double. He then came around to score that first run for the Lugnuts, and then he was the big component that gave them their first lead, that 2-run single in the second. Also drew a walk, which added another RBI to his 3 on the night. So 4 plate appearances for Davis. He gets on 3 times, and let's not forget, Jesse, that smart cutoff play he made at shortstop to get the runner at second.
Yes.
So the leadoff man and Toledo Rocket, Darren Davis, heck of a night for him. He's going to be my go-to guy here.
He's a position player. Do you mind if I also ask you, were there any pitchers who stood out to you?
Yeah, you got to go with Adam Dorstowitz. Comes in for an inning in that third, and he just zone 1, 2, 3. Strikeout, 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 like the way that he pitched, and it was a quick outing for him, but he was very efficient.
All right. Well, there you go. This has been our Lemonade League opening night. Thank you for joining us. For Adam Jacksa, I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. We'll check back in with you next Wednesday. The Lugnuts, the Locos, more of this action. We've got some baseball this summer. So good to get things started. Now we get things rolling with a little bit of a homestand and more. Big thanks to Terry Alipert, to Daniel Higgins in our control room. Thanks to the guys in charge, the director of baseball's Chad Roskelley for the Lemonade League, and Greg Kiger pulling the strings behind the curtain. General manager. Once again for Adam, I'm Jesse. Go nuts, and hey, let's enjoy some lemonade. Till Wednesday, have a good night from Cooley Law School Stadium.